It's me, SB.
Dearly beloved.
It's so good to be here. Y'all know what day it is. It's Monday. It's Monday. And y'all know who I got here with me. I got my co-host. Black Man Unfiltered. Where you at, brother? Come on up here. Oh. Black Man, where you at, buddy?
I'm right here. What are you talking about, Sugarfoot?
Anybody seen Black?
What's up, Suge?
There you go.
What up, baby? How you doing this evening?
Wouldn't you?
Huh?
Over there on TikTok. I saw it.
Man, you know what? A wise woman told me, go over there on TikTok. She did. She told me. She said, go.
But yes. Out my TikTok people because they be showing some love, though they not showing love.
They show love over on the talk.
On the talk. We call it the talk now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, you know what the day is. It's Monday.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see on hold on. I'm waiting to see. I'm still here. Hold on just a second. I'm waiting to see what you got for the big dumbass of the day.
Uh-oh, you must got some because I ain't even been thinking like that. I've been like in more of a serious mode. Ain't nobody really. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me think about it. Hold on. Come to think about it. I was having a conversation with Mr. Boss, and I did say, should I give him the BDA of the day for that? Who was that though? I don't forgot who it was. So they must didn't do too much. I must have let it go. I don't know who it was right now, but we did have that conversation. I graced them and I was like, look, it's okay. They just making me better. It's okay. I don't know who it was.
Well, I will say this.
What you got?
You swagged out today.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, come on through. Hey, Mr. Boss. Give it to me real fast, Mr. Boss. Go ahead.
Which one?
There it is. Come on through, Mr. Boss.
Excuse me. I am still recovering from my cold that I've had.
Oh, I'm so I was so sad to hear that. I was like, oh my God, she's so sick. But I know Mr. Boss nursed you back to health. Head on both sides. Yes.
Listen, did you hear me? I said, when did I come? When was I back on? Wednesday. Listen, y'all need to go. If y'all haven't done it yet, I need y'all to go to the drugstore, grocery store, Sam's, Walmart, somewhere, and get you some medicine for a cough, cold, aches, pains, or whatever you got, because the shelves are empty.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all don't need to be going to no emergency room for no cough, because it's worse there. Everybody coughing. That means you're going to walk out of something worse than you came in there with. So y'all listen, go. Mr. Boss had so much trouble finding something for a cough. Poor thing got distracted, forgot my orange juice. And he was like, oh God, my wife ain't never been sick. What am I doing? So.
Well, shout out to Mr. Boss for nursing security boss back to health. Drop the bomb, baby. Drop the bomb.
He did. He was like, what are we going to do? I'm never sick. I haven't been, you know what, Black Man, the last 27 years, I can't even tell you how long or how many times I've been under the weather. I'm not the one. I usually just go. I don't have colds or anything. So it was unfortunate, but I guess I'm just no different than anybody else. And I've been working. We've been busy, get new contracts and stuff going. So I've been busy doing that and just, out about in this dirty, nasty world.
Yeah. So I got a BDA.
You got one?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
I got a BDA for the young lady that went viral for saying that she's sexually liberated and she likes to have it is natural for a woman to want hands all over her body. So women should be able to have hands all over men's hands all over their bodies. And she says, at times I've had 6 men at one time, 10, even 12, all having sex with me at one time. She said it's just a wonderful feeling to have all those spirits connecting with each other sexually.
She didn't say that.
Oh yeah, you give her the. I'm gonna send you the video.
Wait a minute.
The BDA of the day.
Wait a minute. How was all the spirits connecting?
Yeah, she said she's a queen and she's a goddess. No, she didn't say queen. She said I'm a goddess. She knows spirits.
Yeah, she showed.
All those men. She said, and she went down the list. She said I've had 6 men at one time. I've had 10. I've had 12. It was enjoyable.
I'm not trying to get a visual, but I'm just saying, wow. I mean, okay, I'm gonna have to let her have that.
Yeah, so she had 3 at a time in 4 sets.
A name for this freak.
Yeah, I don't remember her name. She didn't say her name. I was in, you know what, Security Boss, that really shocked me.
Why?
I did, on Monday after this, I always do the reaction videos. I did a reaction on the video. The girl, before she talks, if you see her, she's beautiful, very attractive, beautiful girl. You would never think that she lives that type of lifestyle.
I'm not putting nothing by him this.
God, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait a minute, what? 16 and 12? What are you ordering, nuggets?
You know what, though, Black man, I'm beginning to wonder if she's even telling the truth. But if she wants to put it out there, let her put it out there. It makes her more interesting. Go ahead. Because when she said all the spirits connecting, something ain't right. But anyway, I'm gonna let her have it. She could be the get ready to call. She could be the 304 for the day and wear the BDA. She got it. She all by herself. Ain't nobody trying to beat that. But I wish we had an award for her. We can bless her with it, but guess what? She won't be doing it no more because look, she done talk about 6, 10, and 12, and everybody who see that TikTok video gonna be like, "Oh, that girl look familiar." Won't
exactly. Be. And is that the kind of woman that can get married?
Heck no, married.
6 years from now, she said, "I'm a changed woman. I know the Lord. I'm a changed woman. I'm ready to be married and have kids."
Okay, so listen, let's just be honest about this thing. Considering she's tapping into the spiritual aspect of it, it would say to me that her spirit would never be one that could be a wife. Because it would always have an undercurrent of hoism, homemongerism in her spirit that would not allow her to be one with anybody.
Homemongerism.
Did I just make that up?
You better preach tonight.
Okay. It sounds good though.
It does.
So I'm assuming she's carrying around that spirit. And we ain't gonna talk about Jezebel and all the mother Lilith and all the other people that's probably done got in there and destroyed her. And then we ain't gonna talk about the actual destroying of the nature. But you know what? She might find some old man she could take care of that might marry her.
Every time you kiss on that woman in her mouth and
hey, look though, let's just keep it all the way real. Well, I ain't gonna even say that because I don't want to bring no. I'm keeping it all the way real. Sometimes you need to be a virgin at some things, and you don't share all that stuff about it. But hey, everybody, sometimes people get. Let me tell you, just on that note, somebody said something that I heard. I heard that Caucasian mothers actually teach their Caucasian daughters to give oral because they don't want them to have children. What do you think about that?
Well, I was just on a platform, the shout out to Perfect Field podcast, and they had a young lady on there. I was on there with a panel full of them. I don't know if you watched the whole thing. If y'all haven't, go watch it. And the white girl on the panel said that. She didn't say anything about her mom.
Okay.
But they asked her what her kink was. What does she like what a man to do to her? And she said, I'm not that type of woman. I'm not selfish like that. I don't want a man to do a lot for me. She said, but I love giving head. Oh, I just love it. I just want to do it every day. I just want to do it. And I'm like, everybody look at her like, wow. She said, yes. She said, I just love doing it. It's just a part of me. I just love it.
Could you even look at her with a straight face? See,
if you go look at the video, I'm like,
I don't need to be around straight people. My face just tells too much. I'd have been looking like.
She said she loved it. The other girl on the other side, it was 4 women and just me.
Oh no, I haven't seen this one. This is I haven't seen this one.
On the other side, the other girl said, I like to be choked and handled.
Listen, I cannot, Lord, you over here, you don't talk this way. I don't know what happened. We got to rebuke that right there because there's some craziness that's entering into the room.
I mean, all of them. She said, I want to be manhandled and, choked up. And then the other girl said, I like that.
You know what was up? They had a big old buck sitting right there and you was the only one. They was going to give you all kind of dreams and fantasies that night. Look, them women would handle you.
And
That's
then
what it was. They're fantasizing about you. Did you say you was by yourself?
Yep, it was me and the guy that runs the thing.
Oh no, he's a little skinny fella. No, not him.
But she said the first girl said she want to be choked and the manhandled. The second girl said she likes to bite me and she want to bite them and she like to get bitten. She like me to just bite them.
Black man that was setting you up, you didn't feel a little bit afraid?
No. And then the girl beside me said, I like to suck toes. And then the other girl on the other side of her went to the whole head thing. Oh yeah, baby. They was
Black man, that was all for you.
They was on one. I was looking like, what?
I ain't even playing with them. That was all for you. That was all for you. But listen, let's get into this thing because I'm all over the place today. And what's the title? What's the title for today? I've been lost my way because I got so much stuff going on in my head I want to talk about.
What kind of watch it is?
Story, and we're gonna look at a video. And Derrick Jaxn is just out here showing out. And
what kind of watch that is you got on?
Watch? Oh, a Movada.
Oh, I like that.
I wear Movada watches. I like Movada. Thank you.
I like that. Hey, security boss, I want to tell you something. Remember the other day you said that you went and got a Maserati for your birthday?
I did.
Let me tell you what happened to me.
What you get?
So I was coming from work. My wife said, hey, babe, what you doing? I said, nothing. She said, okay, drive over here. I broke down at this dealership. I said, what? She said, yeah, they pulled me in. They told me and just...
Wait a minute. I got to go talk to that girl. She the one. She broke down at the dealership. Boy,
I broke down and she said she broke down and they told her to the dealership. I said, what dealership? I said, babe, I'm on my way. I get over there. She said, surprise.
What? What is it?
She got me a 2022 Silverado TSR 4-wheel drive 4-door super Krew. That thing bad, security boss. I didn't show you the picture. I'm gonna send them to you.
What color is it?
Black on black.
Oh my gosh, she got you.
She said, Merry Christmas. I said, I fell out right there. They said, you okay, sir? I said, I'm good.
You stupid.
No, Jesus.
Listen, how did you feel about the setup? I broke down and they took me to the dealership.
Because she know that's the kind of man I am. So if she called me and say she broke down, I'm coming.
Yeah, but the dealer took me to the dealership part.
Yeah, that's what they took. Yeah, I wasn't thinking. All I heard was breakdown, and all I knew was to get there. Go get your woman.
Tell your wife I love her. I like that.
Oh yeah, boy, I started screaming. I said, "Oh, thank you, Jesus!"
You stupid! I gotta take a look at that. Listen,
if you can see that, look at it.
Look at the profile.
Ooh, look at it. Look at it.
Black wheels on it too?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
I said, babe, I so thank you. She said, you deserve it. Oh, I said,
look, you don't look like no soccer dad driving that.
You sure ain't lying. Hey. Yes. Okay, yeah. Let's move on. Okay,
we can move on. Let's see. Who's over here in the comment section for us right now? But wait a minute. Before we go, we got to do this. We got to do this because my man, Black Man, has recently found his way over to TikTok, and we got to shout out our TikTok family because they be good. They be on it. I've been doing it for a while, y'all. TikTok, if this is your first time over here at SB Nation, make sure you subscribe to my channel. But Black Man Unfiltered is here too, and I know y'all been seeing his work, so go over there also, subscribe to Black Man Unfiltered, and we appreciate you all. Now listen, YouTubers, y'all know we love you. Absolutely. We are on first name basis. Y'all know, absolutely. Y'all been there with us forever. But them people over on TikTok, they be in it. They be posting us left and right, sharing, be commenting, be talking to us too. They do everything. And I be saying, what is going on with YouTube? They just love us and they just want to keep us a secret. What you think, Black Man? You muted.
You're absolutely correct. Absolutely.
They're gonna have to stop. They're gonna have to stop keeping us a secret. Y'all gonna have to start sharing because I ain't gonna lie, I ain't going over there to TikTok for good, but because y'all know I like y'all better. But yeah, I love my TikTok family. They be in it. They'll keep you going.
I mean, TikTok it's so instant. Once you post it, pop.
And then like nobody's business. I wouldn't say that, and yeah, you would say that. Not today. I don't agree. I said okay.
They be coming hard, and that's why when I put that video was put up of what I said about men's vulnerability.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even look at it. My sister called me and say, "Fool." I said, "What's up?" She said, "Boy, you done went viral." I said, "You lying." So when I looked, it was at like 500,000, then 800,000, 1 million, 2 million. I said, "Damn, wow."
Look,
come on through.
I know. There you go. Keep it up. Keep it up. It'll get you where you want to be. It's helped us a whole lot. I appreciate it. You know what? You in a lot of hours. We try to. Did you know that? You do know.
I watch all yours. Come on now.
Okay, I didn't know if you were doing the TikTok thing, but you're in a lot of hours, so you definitely a familiar face. All they gotta do now is follow you too, and then you just get where you have to go. But we ain't gonna forget about our Instagram people. Now, have you got over to Instagram yet?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Everything that I put on TikTok, I put on Instagram.
Look, they showed out too. They're not as engaging as the TikTokers, but we appreciate you guys, and I also love the fact that you're sharing our work, and make sure you continue to do so. So thank y'all all for doing so. But for now, we're going to talk to our family, the ones who's been with us from the beginning over here. Mr. Steele, Dr. Steele, how you doing? It's good to see you. Lost in translation. Hope you're doing well. Salute to you also. The AP, thank you for loving me. Thank you. Mr. C, what's up? Miss Miller, what's going on with you? I hope you're doing well. Dre, did I forget you? Dre, you know I can't forget you. But thank you so much for being here. Who else am I missing? Because Mr. Boss is going crazy right now. You flipping through. Let's see. I got a super chat here with me. Make sure we say hello to everybody before we get started, because I see what AP, I see what you're doing. Mr. Howard, good to see you. But AP, I see you. AP trying to set the show off right.
Yeah.
You see what he's doing, right? Mr. Scotland, it's good to see you also. Oh, listen, the chat's still looking to attack Chantel. Not tonight. Black man, you wouldn't hear on for Black man, I gotta tell you something.
I seen when you went live and I had to work. I see, damn it, I'm gonna miss it. Oh, I was pissed off.
For you, but let me tell you what my girl did.
What she did.
You know, my super troll. Sugar Bomb. You know I love Sugar Bomb.
Yeah.
Sugar Bomb and Quita. For some reason, they don't care too much for Chantel.
Right.
They start going at her.
Oh no!
Right here in the middle of the show, I had to let him go. I had to put him out. Mr. Boss had to set him down for a little bit because I didn't understand what was going on. You know, I'm not a big comment section person when I'm actually into the show, so I didn't see everything that was said. But I was like, "Well, we can't be disrespecting company."
My Lord.
So anyway. Like, y'all are out there, y'all back there, y'all know lurking in the background. Y'all can come on back, but we're gonna have to talk about that now. Sugar Bum, y'all come on back. We're gonna have to have some conversation because
what did she say to set that off?
She wasn't saying nothing because we wasn't even talking about. I was talking to her about being a wife. We wasn't even talking about that stuff that she talks about per se. You know what I mean?
Is Chantel not married? Is she?
No, we were talking about her being a wife, like you know. Like I would do any other woman that comes to SB Nation, like, what's your dreams and aspirations? You know, like that. It wasn't anything bashing or negative of anything. Anyway, we weren't talking about anybody. Right. So I don't even know. I felt like it was something else brewing that I didn't know nothing about. So, but anyway, Miss Betty.
Listen, you hear what Big Bad Bull. Let me tell you something. I'm finna. Big Bad Bull said, "Yeah, okay, y'all keep messing with those Chinamen if you want to. I just don't trust no dang TikTok. I will never create no account on that thing. Listen, everything you got is made in China. You'll probably parts of your engine, the pot that you cooking in, the TV that you watching. All okay.
Go back to them pots that them women be cooking that food in. Tell me the pots you get no meals.
Yep, made in China. Pots made in China. Your Samsung TV made in China. If you driving in,
no, listen, you want to get him. Stick with the food. Stay right there.
No, a Toyota Tundra truck. You took them from China.
BBB, you better stop. Don't come here with that madness. Don't do it. The successfully melanated Dusty. I can't see the end of that. I can't see what's going on. Dusty. Anyway, Chorus? How you doing today, Chorus? Hope you're doing good. Hakeem, glad you're here. If I missed someone, y'all, it was BBB's fault. Blaming on him. And we're going to take all the pots and pans away. Gretchen, hello. Who said something about a super troll? Yeah, I said super troll. I was just kidding. That's my girl normally. I don't know what happened on Friday. I really don't. You okay? Y'all keep messing with the Chinaman. Listen, we are. We love TikTok because it's this regular people. They show love and we appreciate it all. Miss Bree, hello. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. But listen, let's get started on this thing. We got some super chats we got to go to. So I think AP started us off with a $19.99 or was it a $20 super chat? And AP says, for a great show, you get the money line.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline.
Money line,
I'ma run it every time.
give me mine.
Going up, need no decline.
Yeah, yeah.
Dearly
And
beloved,
I gotta let you guys know, due to the fact that we be having some good conversations over here, man, really good. We have increased the money line to $19.99. So with that, you will get the money line song if you give the channel a $19.99 super chat. We appreciate you all for whatever you do. Mr. Scotland, thank you so much for your $5 super chat. He says, security boss, right now, if you are a woman that is pro passport brothers, you will be disliked. Why is that? Oh, so you're saying that's what's going with them because Chantel is pro? Ah, man, that's a weak thing to be mad at someone for. But you know what? We can't please them all because I got some things I'm gonna talk to Black Man about to set this thing off. But I want to tell a little story. Black Man, you think it's okay for me to tell a little story? I always like to tell. You muted.
Ladies and gentlemen, story time.
Story time. So
Security
let's-
boss.
Y'all know that SB has always wanted to be a judge. Y'all know I wanted to wear that black robe, right? So in my many endeavors to finish that 8 years of schooling that you need to have, y'all know what I'm talking about. Back in 2014, this was like my end of my first half of my 8-year journey. That's crazy, right? But anyway, back in 2014, I was in school and one of my classes was like a drama class or something, theater appreciation. I don't even remember the name or the title of it, but it was all about public speaking and critiquing and things of that nature. So I'm saying this and telling this story because me and Mr. Boss were talking today and we said to each other, he said, we were talking and I was like, hey, do you know how many men or women, vice versa, has told their mate, go find yourself a friend? Have you ever said that to your wife, Black Man?
No.
Okay, but you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
A man saying to his wife,
friends.
you need to find you some friends, right? And so we say things like that and no harm intended at the moment, but we never know that could be the first glimpse of a problem. Think about it. Let's say it slow. You need to find yourself some friends. Dang. Right. So I say all that to say back in 2014, one of my classes was theater appreciation. And in that we would go find plays that were going on in the city. And we would go to these plays and we would critique these plays and what have you. Back in 2014, me and Mr. Boss went to this play called Blessed Assurance. And it was a one-man show. But this one man ended up being about 20 different people. And every person that he was represented by a chair. Yeah, one man show and every person was represented by a chair. Somebody was a couch. Another, mailman was, it was, when I went in, I was like, one man show. How could it be a one man show and it be good? So I went in really with, this ain't gonna be hitting on them, but it was the best thing ever. But the point I'm making is Mr. Boss was there with me.
Right.
And him at first, he was like, babe, how this man gonna do this one man show particularly? How he gonna do this? So he used lights, chairs, rugs, a sofa, an armoire with Jack Daniels sitting on it, all of that to represent about 20 different people in about 3 different times in his life, time zones or time eras in his life to do this play. But he was only one person. Wow. It was the best thing I ever saw. But the gist of this, it was called Blessed Assurance. And what he was, the main character was a man. He was a white man and he was an insurance salesman. And this insurance salesman sold insurance to poor Black people. And if y'all don't know, some of y'all won't know because you're too young to know. But when I was younger, the insurance man would come by your house and get your money every month or every quarter for the insurance payment, because you're going to have your life insurance. Because one thing that Black people did was they planned for death. I don't know if y'all know that, and I don't know if y'all can hear me.
They didn't plan to live, they're planning to die.
They plan to die. They did not plan to live, they plan to die, especially poor.
Yep.
Or what we would call poor. They plan to die. So it was one woman on there that he really concentrated on, and her name was Lottie, Miss Vesta Lottie Battle. Miss Battle, she had her life insurance policy, and she would pay him every quarter he came by to get his money and everything. And years and years went by. I can't tell you how many, but just so much time. And he would just talk about how much that he appreciated Miss Battle, you know, because she would always pay or what have you. But to make a longer story short, getting towards the end, right before Miss Battle died, she did not pay. She lost. She couldn't pay. So her insurance, So this man was asked this way. It's a couple things he came up with. And one of the things is he said to himself, is doing right the right thing to do? Is doing right the right thing to do?
Just think about that for a moment.
You got to. Is doing right the right thing to do? Because y'all just heard me say Miss Battle had been paying and had laid out her funeral. She lived to die. And I'm going to tell y'all about her funeral in a minute, but I guess got to just tell you she lived to die. And right at the end, it lapsed. So the right thing to do would have been what? Counsel.
Go ahead to pay for that woman's funeral.
No. He was an insurance man. His job was to collect the money for the policies that were intact.
Right.
So if she allowed the lapse, she no longer had insurance.
Yep.
So the right thing would have been to, you know, when they came looking for him, hey, mom died, whatever. Right thing would have been like, oh no, but would that have been the right thing? So for him, throughout the play, he was saying that, you know, all these years he's been coming to this poor community and collecting this money. All of a sudden, the Black people had faces, because for a long time they didn't. They didn't have faces. There was just him collecting a check. It wasn't no check. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, long story short, she had laid out her funeral. She wanted doves. She wanted a white casket. She wanted the big hearse. She had did it all. And this man in the character made sure that it happened. He did the right thing in the end. And she was laid to rest. But what I'm trying to tell you is that a lot of times here lately, we have men, I think Black men, you say 70% of Black men are taking their lives. And the reason why I think that they are doing this, and there's going to be plenty of different reasons. It's going to be this that set them off, this that set them off, this didn't happen, this didn't happen. But this woman, Miss Lottie, was Miss Battle was connected. So often I'm feeling now that our Black men are not connected. They're not connected at all. They're just out there. They don't have their purposes for being here is getting lost in the money, getting lost in the job, or getting lost, and they have no idea that they're living to die.
Mm-hmm.
But then one day they get a hotel room and they're dead.
Yep.
So all that stuff that they did, their planning, all that stuff that they did along the way, Black men, it took them to a room and it was over. And if indeed it is true that he did this because of some bad investment in some Dogecoin or some Bitcoin, his life, what was the purpose? And we just can't keep letting our men be unconnected, or how am I saying, is unconnected a word? Yeah, unconnected. We can't do that. We gotta let our men know that, look, you are so much more valuable than the money that you make.
Yep.
You gotta
you will die trying to chase in the bag and end up in one.
This woman paid for this insurance policy her whole life just for her death.
Yep.
Got ready to die, didn't have not an ounce of insurance.
Could have used that money to enjoy family or take a trip or do something.
Get out that poor situation.
Golly, that's wild.
Had doves. She had doves, and when he describes it, and you there at the play, he had doves. She had a white casket. She had just $30,000 funeral. A $30,000 funeral.
The hell with that. The hell with that.
So this was a play that I saw back in 2014, y'all. It's called Blessed Assurance. I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but it was a one-man show. And this like spoke to me in so many different ways, because I had this man that was with me, that's my husband, that is connected to me. We were connected enough to go see this play. We put the time into each other enough to say, this is the person that I want to be with. We were doing marriage. So often people don't know how to do marriage and don't even care about doing marriage. They'll tell their wives or husbands, you ain't going out, you ain't out hanging with the guys yet? You ain't found a girlfriend yet? No, you're it for now.
Dearly beloved.
Let's try to make it work.
Yeah.
Let's try to enjoy it. I've been finding that so many couples that are married are looking for so many external pleasures that it's ridiculous.
Yep. Everybody looking for the next best thing.
It's all outside of the marriage. It's almost like the marriage is, you cannot find happiness, or you can, excuse me, bad word. You cannot find fulfillment here, but you married her for some reason. For some reason, she had it together, whether it was 10 years, 20 pounds ago, for whatever, it was together back then.
Yeah. Because I know I got I was in my church. There was a marriage class, and a guy was in there just like that. He said that when he married his wife, he married her because when he saw her, she was beautiful, the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. And she looked a certain way, and now she's no longer that woman. He's not cheating on her, but he said he's not sexually attracted to his wife anymore because she's no longer the same person he fell in love with.
I understand that. That's so real, but that's okay, black man. So let's go back. Let's just take a step back. Instead of going out and looking at what attractive, let's go back and get the woman, because she's still that woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's just not in that present form right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go love on her and love them 20, 30, 40 pounds off of her and let her know that, hey, I still love you. It's still about you. We in this together. Listen, when the man said you find one and you become one with him and you get on one accord. If I'm hurt, he's hurt. If he's hurt, I'm hurt. If I cut my own hand off, he's going to feel some pain. If I got to get rid of him, it's a death to myself. And if you ain't feeling that, if you don't feel that kind of connection, then you ain't there yet. You're not. Because it's got to be that deep. And it's just like what Dre is saying. Dre, you dead on. They're not connected. We're not connected. Dre, thank you so much for your $5 super chat. He said, SB so on point, not connected to the source of life. Money becomes their God, and not God who gives you the power to get it. Listen, you're right. We got to stop this. We have to share, because Mr. Bossman, he was talking, he was like, but babe, what if we lost $80,000 or something? I said, do you know how much money we done been through in these last 27 years? 80,000. What? We probably done been through 20 million, 20 million. Who knows? We live. I'm connected. We're connected. We living. I'm not going to sit up here and go my whole life and then wonder about something and then on the other side die and then be like,
you don't have it no more.
I'm not going to have it no more.
Right.
I'm gone because I can't take it with me. I'm not going to have it anymore. There's no guarantee. I can't, And then I know, men, y'all talk about your legacies, and I know you're talking about all of that. And that goes back to this blessed assurance. This woman, she was a poor black woman, but she had a house. She tried to leave her things to her children. But let's just keep it all the way real. If your child ain't worked for nothing, they ain't going to take care of nothing.
Right.
So as soon as you get good coal in the ground, it's gone. It's gone. If I could tell another story, let me add to that. I know of some people, I've heard a story not too long ago, where the dad's house is worth a lot of money now. Very valuable home. but the dad's still living. But some of the kids want them to sell the house so they can get money. Well, where the heck daddy gonna go? They ain't even thought about it, don't even
All
care.
about the money.
This is real. This is a true story, I'm telling you. Well, then where's daddy gonna go?
My Lord.
Did anybody hear that story over there? Because I heard it and I thought about it. Did anybody else hear it? Say he's selfish for not wanting to sell the house. Selfish for not wanting to sell the house that he live in. Because he don't want his siblings, not his siblings, his kids to have the money. Now, I'm just telling you, I believe in legacy. I just know that when Miss Battle died, whatever money she had left over from that insurance policy and whatever she owned in that house, those kids sold it and they moved on with their life. And Miss Battle had her funeral with her doves. It was all white. They talked about how everybody was decked out in white, and she had a excellent homecoming service.
Lord have mercy.
But that was all that woman would be known for.
Live to pay for something that you won't see.
She did. She really did. Black man, you know she's not the only one, though, don't you?
Oh yeah, I know.
One thing that Black people have done for centuries is had a life insurance policy.
Probably paid $150,000 worth of policy. It ain't getting number 30.
Well, they didn't talk details as that, but I'm just saying to you, it's true.
Yep.
If nothing else, they would talk to be able to bury themselves. And this was a play. Yeah, I don't know if it's still out there or not, but it's a very good play. It's called Blessed Assurance. The actor, he was one man. It was a one-man show, and everybody else was a chair, a couch, an armoire, a straight-up chair. It was like really, really nice. It was really, really good. It really, really was. So I just wanted to share that story with you. It has just brings so much memories back to me for so many reasons. Right. We have people that are deleting themselves. We have marriages that are falling apart because we're not connected. People are deleting themselves because they're not connected. We have a woman who lived to die. We got to get
it. I'm telling you, insurance is the biggest fraud ever.
It is. It is. So anyway, I hope I didn't lower the temperature in the room too much. But anyway, let me read this. Dre says, thank you so much, Dre, for that $5 super chat. They're marrying on ungodly principles. So when things change, their feelings shift because it's built on sand, not the rock. It's more, but you're right. You are exactly right. So I'm putting out an advisory to everybody who thinks that they should be married or think that they want to be married.
Right.
Hey, Bolo. If you're not basing your nuptials on godly principles, it's not going to be something that you're going to be able to do or to withstand, I should say.
Right.
And this may lend to why so many marriages are falling apart. Because I'm not going to find perfection in Mr. Boston. He's definitely not going to find it in me. So what happens that day I don't like something he does or the day he doesn't like something I do? Do I run away? No, because my covenant was with God.
Exactly.
It was with God. Now I'm gonna tell you something else I heard this weekend. I heard a man saying that we ain't gonna even talk about them vows and stuff. We ain't gonna even say them vows. Them vows don't even matter.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm here telling you guys, if you want to be married, it's a wonderful thing, because it's a wonderful thing to be able to know that there's an extension of you that cares just as much about you as you care about yourself.
Exactly.
And if y'all didn't hear me say that, you got to hear that. This is somebody that cares just as much about you as you care about yourself.
Exactly.
It's not something that you walk away from easily. If you walk away, it's almost like you cut off your arm because you feel it. You would feel it. It's not a lightweight situation. It's not checking all the boxes, because there's something very organic and authentic that goes into being married. It's called love,
love,
emotions, It's called being selfless. All that stuff that love encompasses is what is required. And women, you know what? We don't get off. It's self-respect. It's respect. It's respect for that man and submission. Those things all come into play.
Yeah.
Is it easy? No. But if that's what you want, then make it be what you want. We anything else in this world, we go after it. And it don't even make no difference. You got people, the girl just told you she don't mind having 12 hands. 12 hands, that means 24. 24 hands on her body at one time.
Exactly.
What is it she can't do?
But give her, she's a young girl too, so give her about 4 or 5 years. She'll be standing in front of the shower saying, I don't want to marry me. I know how to have sex. I know how to love her. I just don't know how to love me.
Shut up. So listen, I say all of that. Y'all, thank you so much for my listening to my crazy story times, because I am really trying to get people married. I'm really trying to give you all something to look forward to, but I'm giving it to you for real. I don't want to paint the picture of the fairy tale or the, what do y'all call it, the Cinderella. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to share with you some real stuff, but it's real because we are intentional about it. We've been intentional about it for years. And for the most part, it's what we were supposed to do. It's what we're supposed to do. Now, have we done some jacked up things in between, made each other mad? Absolutely. It wouldn't be no marriage if we wouldn't have. But we still knew what was the most important thing. And we're going to continue to do that, because if I need to find some fulfillment, it's got to be within this marriage. It can't be on the outskirts. It's got to be here. It's got to be here. So again, that brings us to the topic of today. It's men or women, who leads the divide. And Black man, this is where I need your help at, because right before the show, I got a comment for somebody talking about me like they always do.
What they say?
You know, it's either I don't advocate enough for the men, or
It was a male or female?
I would say it's a male. Or I don't advocate enough for the women. You know, I'm either bad. I can't just be me.
Yeah.
And they act like,
damn if you, damn if you don't.
yeah, they act like one or the other can't be right or wrong. They're trying to make me pick a side. And I'm not going to pick a side, because that's not real life. I have women over here who participate in trashy behavior, who are not wives, who know nothing about being wives, who have no examples of wives. I know they're there. And I have men over here who are trashy men, who know nothing about being leaders. But they'll look me dead in my face and say, the woman gonna have to submit to me. And I'm just trying to figure out, what male class did you go to, and what woman class did you go to? Because they both seem to have the answers. What you think? Don't everybody seem like they got the answer?
Everybody seem they got the answer until you find out about them. Then that's just how it goes. A lot of people are being procrastinated. I mean, a lot of people are being false prophets.
So let me tell you his concerns with me. He basically says that he does listen, which I think that I appreciate him so much for doing that in his engagement. But he says, wait a minute here. Let me go back to the top. He says, I'm not convinced that you really understand where we men are coming from when it comes to finding a Black woman suitable for marriage. He says he don't believe that I understand where you all, not you Black man, but single Black men, are coming from when they say they're looking for a suitable woman, a marriageable woman. Now, my answer to that is, I'm not a man. So if you're asking me to feel what you feel, I cannot do that.
Right.
But what I can do is I can talk to all the women that are willing to listen to me and share with them on how to be a wife.
Dearly beloved.
Now, when I'm sharing with these women on how to be a wife, these principles are coming straight from the Creator. This ain't got nothing to do with Kevin Samuels. This has nothing to do with Cynthia G. It has nothing to do with anybody else that are on these YouTube platforms. This is not done in hate. This is not done in bashing. This is done in principle.
Yeah.
You will not get any talking points from me. The reason why I say that is because talking points will not get you 27 years worth of marriage. They'll fail you every time.
Exactly.
They'll fail you every time.
Exactly.
So I need your help, black man. I want to understand more what men need from me to assure you all that I'm checking your interest and I'm trying to create this woman, this wives that you all want and need, not you, that they want and need, because I'm not it. Remember, I'm the poster child for not being it.
My Lord.
Let's go back to it. Let's go back and listen to when we play the talking points out. I was a single mother. I'm dark skinned. I was none of that. I was none of it. So I would have been looked over about 10 times, right?
Right.
Nobody would have even said hello to me just because.
Just because.
So when I hear people with these talking points and these checklists, I don't totally agree with it because that's not me. And I feel like I'm a very good wife. And the major reason why I feel the major reason why I feel like I'm a good wife is because I wanted to be. I wanted to be. So I'm not going to let y'all tell me that a talking point and you checking the boxes on my exteriors in my past is going to be what makes me a good wife, because it's not.
Exactly.
So that's my whole point. But if we take that off the table, black man, how can I share with you all the things that are important to look for in a wife, to also let you know I'm looking out for you? Because once this woman is in place, I need for you to recognize this is the wife and come and scoop her up.
Right. I think that people speak on moments. They don't speak on the fullness of it. I think that they don't watch you a lot. I think they'll take a clip or something like that and they'll watch it. They get a percentage of you. They get a low percentage of you. They don't get 100% of you. And they judge you off of that small percentage. I think they need to watch you in totality. I think they need to watch the show every Monday, whatever other days you go on, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever days you go on, and go back and watch your past shows, and you'll see that she's advocating. I feel bad for the young man that wrote you that comment, because he probably doesn't know your work.
Well, he's holding out. He's holding out on his subscription because he's not convinced.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, see, he doesn't listen to your work, because if he's not subscribed, he's just watching from the clouds, and he doesn't know anything about your work. He needs to go back and really sit down and binge watch your work.
So is there anything so we take him off the table. He says he often thinks that I think that you guys are that you guys are looking for perfection. Now, I don't think that at all.
No.
Actually, I think that I'd say over and over again to let y'all know that the woman is not going to be a finished product.
Exactly.
When you find her, she has to be willing and has to adapt to you.
Right.
So there's no finished product here. So perfection, it isn't.
Right.
But I just need you to know. I need to know, because listen, if this man, any man that wants to be married, I want that man to have a good woman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really do. But do you feel like this man is he in any way? Oh, well, let me ask the question differently. Should I be pandering to men, letting them know everything they do is okay?
I don't think you're pandering. I think that you know right from wrong, and then you express it in your expressions. So He's wrong. And like again, he needs to go back and watch your material.
He didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking that question because my follow-up question was, should I be bashing women?
No, holding them accountable, yes. But now you don't have to bash them. You don't have to get to that level, but a lot of women need that security boss pressure to get them right. So
tell me what that looks like, black man.
Well, keep doing what you're doing. What you're doing now? Telling them what it is. Tell them what you can't move like this. You can't move like this. You can't carry yourself this way. The things that you're doing now. I mean,
okay. So it's not an individual thing. You're just talking about as a whole.
Yeah, as a whole. Yeah, mate. When you need to have a class. That's what you need.
Well, I'm wondering because I'm serious about it. I'm serious about this because women need to be covered. Well, exactly. we got women out there talking about they got 24 hands on them and they're enjoying it.
Woo.
And it don't even sound right. It sounds nasty. It sounds disgusting. And I don't know how she thinks that that's cute in any way. It's abuse. It's some type of I gotta tell you, she's crazy.
Yeah, because she consented to it. She like, hey, y'all come get it.
No, her mental is way off.
Yeah, and beautiful girl too.
Yeah, but you just don't know. Listen, I have been around some people. I have been around some people. There's some stories I could tell you, and I'll come to you and tell you one day. It's just about this one woman named Goldie. Goldie said, yeah, they were out there dancing. I was out there dancing naked, and yeah, he saw me, and he got some problems. But yeah, I killed him, but it didn't really matter. And yeah, I went on to Texas. Just like that.
Wow.
Just like that.
Wow.
Did you hear what I said? She said, yeah, I killed him because I was out there dancing naked. He saw me, but it wasn't no big deal. He got some issues in his family with people dancing naked or something. This is her talking normal conversation.
Just regular talk.
Yeah, I killed him and then I went to Texas. Yeah, I did that, but it does matter or something crazy she said. And I'm looking like, she just made it so normal to be that off about a man in his life. I said, but that's what happens because she has so many spirits within her.
Right.
And your lady does too. Not your lady, but the lady has so many spirits within her. She's not gonna know what she's doing really soon.
She ain't gonna know the difference. And
Lord, I hope she has no children. None at all, because those are the kids that get abused. That's the, but again, I'm always taking it down. Let's bring it back up.
She got 2 kids.
Huh?
I think she has 2.
Oh, black man. Now see, what do you think about this? Do you think that a way a woman lives her life, let's say she was a lady of the night, a known lady of the night, should she be able to have children within her home?
No. Why not when you out there throwing that thing from the free throw line like that? No. Because what happens when you had a kid and you get bored again?
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just wondering because it's so many forms of neglect when it comes to children. I just don't think sometimes people see that as a form of neglect.
Yeah. Again, it's so bad. It's just bad because back in the day, take 30 years ago, you would never see a woman just get in front of a lot of people and say, I like men's hands all over me. I've had 6 men all at one time, 10 and 12.
Well, black man, we're going to look at a video in a minute. And I think you've played this video before. And the part of it, I've never seen, it's a documentary. I think you played it before. We saw one part of it. We're going to play that part again, but then we're going to show another part. This part that we're going to show additional is a man has a voice. He's saying something. But Lost in Translation says, SB, do I think they care about a covering? In their first consciousness, I would say no, that they do not care about a covering because they have no idea what it is. They don't even know that it is needed. But when that traumatic thing happens, or when you get that knock on the door or whatever it takes to wake you up, then they will realize that they are not equipped to function in this world and be safe. Right. So first consciousness, no. It could go to being immature, young, or what have you. But when they get of an age or of age, they do then realize that it does take covering, and you cannot do these things by yourself. It takes a toll on a woman to be able to function alone,
right,
at a certain time in life. But Mr. Boss, you ready to play that video? We want to do the super chats first. Go ahead and do the video.
Raise your hand if you're married. None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would like to be married to your baby's father. One. The rest of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married? I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to care for. You know, it's a lot of responsibility, and then you don't want the commitments.
I wouldn't want no man holding me down, because I think I can make it as a single parent.
But don't you think you might need help in raising that baby from a man?
Not really. I didn't have a father. My father wasn't in the home, so you know it really, male figures are not substantially important in the family.
All right, so you saw that portion before, Black Man. Haven't you seen that before?
I have. Every time I see it, it makes my damn head hurt.
All right, before you get into that, let's see the second part really quick.
Oh my God.
We're going to talk about it.
Oh, you finna play the male part when the guy was talking?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did you see it already? You already saw it?
Yes.
Oh, I saw this until the other day. Let's see it real quick.
I ain't thinking about holding up for no sex, my man. You know, if a girl, you know, she get having a baby, carrying a baby, hey, that's on her. You know, I'm not gonna stop my pleasures because of another woman.
What about birth control? What about condom?
Girls don't like them things. They don't like them things. They'll tell you to take them things off. They figure that you saying that they filthy or they dirty or something.
It's been a startling change in values. 25 years ago, you would not have heard such things said so freely because they were not embraced so widely. The strong family was still the backbone of Black America, and 3 out of 4 children had both parents at home. That is true no longer. Most Black children are now growing up without their fathers.
All right, so did you hear my man?
They don't like us wearing them things.
Yeah, but this is what's tripping me out, though. This was back in 1986.
And it's 2022, same thing.
Hey, slow down and say it again, Black Man.
It's 2022 and it's the same thing.
What? 36 years have passed and we're still doing the same thing?
Same thing.
I quit. Are you kidding?
These women just sat in the room and said it.
That's my point.
I didn't have no dad in my life, so I turned out okay.
They're really not that significant.
Yeah.
Now listen, you just said something, because I've been saying this for quite some time, because people have been telling me that everything is different. You're just old. Things in back in your day,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. But this man right here said, I'm not getting ready to give up my desire, stop my pleasure. Man, if
Right.
she want to have a baby, that's on her.
Exactly.
But guess what? Well, guess what wasn't said? That woman got 32 ways of having contraception, so she have a baby. It's on her. He might as well said it, right?
Yep.
So this is my little twist on this is that how did that man lose his value? I'm not talking about relating to a woman. I'm talking about within himself. If a man says he's having a child, most men be wanting they want their kids. But that man came out of his mouth right there and he said, man, I ain't get ready to stop my pleasures. If she want to have a baby, it's on her.
Man.
So what happened to this man's value?
It could be his surroundings. It could be who he's following, because he's not a leader. You could tell that he's not a leader in the community. I hope this man is still alive. I really do, so he can see a reflection of what he said in today's men.
Hold on for a minute. Mr. Melner says this was 36 years ago. The numbers are much worse now. 86% out of wedlock births were at 50%. In 2022, it's 80%. It's not the same. Huh?
I mean,
it's more. It's just more of us.
Yeah, it is.
It's more. What we mean by the same is that it's the same tricks. It's the same trickery.
Right.
We ain't learned nothing. The same trickery.
Lord have mercy.
We're trying to turn it around. We're not trying to be the same. You know what? We keep up with this right here. It's going to be darn near 95% in the next 10 years.
Yeah, you're right.
We're talking about the trickery of the thing, not the numbers per se. We're talking about the mindsets of why did these young girls not value this black man, and why did this black man have no value? He sit there and said it out of his own mouth.
Yep. Because in a lot of things he's hearing, right? So like the lady, we don't need you. We could do it alone. I see my mama and them do it.
Listen, Mr. Scotland did say this on Friday. Chantel said, I don't know what time, what year this was. I don't know how old Chantel is, 31. But anyway, she says that most men were seen as ATMs. Did you feel like, it seemed like to me, these girls, some of them seem to be very articulate, but I didn't know. Do you think that they were going to be straight on the system? That was my theory, that they were going to go straight for the system.
Exactly.
Yeah, they were going to be straight system.
System.
Yeah.
System, you're sitting there waiting on them.
Yes. Yep. And that's actually what they had already seen. They seem to be articulate women, but for them to say the man hasn't been, the male figure wasn't necessary, hasn't been necessary in my life.
Right.
That meant they hadn't seen it.
Right.
And then for this man, now I'm not going to label nobody. You can if you want to, black man. But would you label this particular guy a particular type of guy, or would you say could he be the face of the male community?
He's not going to be the face of the male community because of his mindset. I would put him, it's tough because he ain't what you want. He's not the man you want around boys. He's not the man that you want teaching boys. He needs to be put up somewhere. He needs to be shelved because he didn't give any good advice at all. He's just talking. She said, I can't wear that thing. She didn't want me to wear that thing. Dude, you're a man. Step up and say, listen, I'm going to wear it regardless of what you say to prevent you from having a baby. Or me or you.
Black man didn't care. He said, it's not going to stop my pleasures. He's not going to stop his pleasures. No matter what, I am not going to stop my pleasure to get married, to be concerned about this woman having a baby. I am not stopping my pleasures. This is what this man said. Oh. This is what I'm talking about. Why does this man not care more about himself than not to want anything from himself?
Exactly.
See, this is what we're going to.
Yeah.
This is what we're warring against, because I don't hear it put so plainly as he did it a minute ago, right. But I do hear men that speak just like this right now. As recent as Saturday night on a YouTube platform, I heard men speak just like this.
Yep.
And guess what they're calling it? Now y'all gonna get me for this. Guess what they're calling it? Guess what they're calling it, black man?
What?
Their nature.
Oh, Lord, help us right now, Jesus. It's bad. Security boss is, when I say it's bad out here, it is bad. It's bad.
See, they're calling it their nature. So what you're saying is this, and this goes back to the woman too, because you said that young lady said the same thing. You didn't even know how you started the show, but you started it right, because you said her desire said, I desire to have many men. I've already had 6. I had 10. And I've had 12. My desire is what she's saying is she has no control whatsoever over her flesh. And this man right here, he just said the same thing. I have no control over my flesh. And I'm not getting ready to stop my pleasures.
Well,
So
that's that's an immature man that's putting the cart before the horse. For you to say that is for him to say that, he's irresponsible. And that's why I said he can't be around kids. He should be around any influential people, because when you say stuff like that, people listen. They listen. I don't have to be, I can go out here and be irresponsible just like this man said on the TV. He's gonna please himself. Oh, I gotta be a man that get it. Basically what he said, if you read between the lines, he's just saying I need it all the time. I'm a sex man. That's what I want. That's not how that works. That's just not how it works. And people, like what I said again, men have to start being responsible over their penis. I know you like big breasts and big booties. I know. But you can't go and just skeeter-weedy all in these little girls and get them pregnant. And now you wanted 30 minutes of fun. Now it's turned into a lifetime of responsibility.
But then, black man, it gets worse because, like Mr. Milner said, there is something that's a little different now. Now we have systems that are dead against this.
Wow.
And these systems that we have now are after this man. They're saying, come on, keep doing what you're doing. Yep. I'm gonna bring you into the system. And some men will spend years in prison for that decision to not to have any control over their flesh.
And you know what? Speaking of that, the other day I was watching the paternity thing or whatever. Not Maury Povich, but like a real real case. And the lady said the man had been arrested for child support what's the name of the damn thing? The bailiff. The bailiff came over. Said, you come here. They walked in. The man's on the side with his mama. The lady's on this side. This is what he said. He said, I got locked up for 9 years for non-child support. The judge said, 9 years? Why weren't you paying? He said, because I need a DNA test and they refused to give it to me, so I refused to pay. He got locked up. They said, on the case of little Charlie,
you are not the father.
You are not the father. This man spent 9 years of his life in jail for nothing. Lost his job, lost his home. 9 years of his life. Locked 9 years of almost a decade of his life. Beer that is, because he could have been tortured in prison. Yeah, or great anything in prison. Oh my God. Listen, security house, I think I'd be locked up. I think if I was in that courtroom and that judge said to me that that's not my child, I think I would have just snapped. Absolutely. Snapped or checked out. See what I'm saying? It all comes back to you get what I'm saying? You see what okay. Yes, you would have, because you ain't no answer for this. 9 years old and this ain't my child, and we just gonna go home and it's gonna be all right. No. I couldn't have. Listen, I'm not even a man, and I couldn't have dealt with that. I don't know what I would have done. 9 years, and then guess what? Well, I'm sure he probably gets to sue the city for that, or sue the county. Hopefully. But that's we're gonna throw some money at it. That was 9 years of my life. I hope he did some good time, if it could be good time. Does that even make sense? I don't know. But black man, this is what I'm saying. That was a Caucasian man, wasn't it? And right after that, there was a black man. And Lord, I'm gonna tell you this when we can move on. The black man was in the courtroom. He was a father. He said, I've been taking care of these 2 kids. I'm only here on behalf of my grandmother. My grandmother said that I should do a DNA test on these kids. So he was standing there. He said, I know they mine. I'm just here for that. So the girl was like, yeah, they're yours. Oh, no. They've been married for 14 years. They have a 9-year-old and they have a 7-year-old. 7-year-old little boy, a 9-year-old girl, and then they have a baby boy that's 7 months old or something like that. They said, on behalf of the baby girl that's older, you are not the father. His knees buckled. He said, oh my God. He said, you wrong. I know you wrong. They're my babies. I know you wrong. I know you wrong. She said, I know it hurts. She said, your second baby. On behalf of your second baby, you are not the father. And the little bit, he said, I know the little one mine because he's a junior. He has my namesake. On behalf of the little baby, he's not yours either. And he just broke down on his knees. The judge say, help him, y'all, just help him. It helped him up. He couldn't even walk. He was so broken. And guess what the woman had the audacity to say? I hope you stay in my kid's life because I don't want to go home and break their heart and tell them they don't have a daddy no more.
So listen, I don't know what to do, but listen, Mr. Milner, I'm calling you out because you were in my comment section, but I appreciate what you're doing. We're going to read these super chats. But before we do that, I want to read Mr. Milner's comment because he says something that me and Mr. Boss have talked about too. Right there, it says a distinction should be made between Black people and ninjas.
Yeah, come on.
A broader culture within the community has adopted ninjarism. Social media has made it virtually impossible for discipline. So listen, again, Mr. Milner, I appreciate that. I even agree with that, but they all looking alike now because of the last thing that you said. It's making it impossible for discipline. But let's think about that, y'all, because this is a solution-based show, and that's where we are, because we want people to get married. Yep. And we want to have DNA testing at birth.
At birth.
And after.
Whether you're married or not. Shit. Whether you're married or not, get it.
Look, I thought about her. Let me test her too.
Yeah. As soon as the baby come out, just yeah, pop them up. Pop them up.
You ain't going to my house unless we figure out what's good.
Dad, don't call me that until test results come back.
Don't even look at me.
Don't look at me. Don't look out there, wonder boy. You know, it's crazy.
I think we're gonna go back and get them, y'all. But I appreciate all the comments. This is great. I'm not a big comment reader, y'all, when I'm talking, because I really be just really looking for answers. I want y'all to continue with your comments and whatever suggestions or whatever, because this is a solution-based show. I want this thing to turn around because we are headed for y'all know where. It's already hell on earth, so I ain't got to tell y'all that. But listen, Dre says, if he knows your show, then you're going back. Oh, it's been a while. Ooh. If he knows your show, then he knows your Bible based. Yeah. So where is he coming from, SB? You're doing great. It's his own choosing. FY chocolate is the best. I agree. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. Thank you, Dre. Thank you so much for being here. You are definitely a plus for this comment section. I appreciate it. One day though, I want to see you. Neo Moses, how you doing? Thank you so much for your $4.99 super chat. He said the two types of men will get the results who are doing the work. Team better or team bitter? The two types of men, team better or team bitter. What you think about that? Wait. Don't say it. Hold on. I'll keep that thought. Clement Gray. Mr. Gray, how you doing? What's going on? They would rather trauma bond than parabond. All right. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. All right. And do we have Dre says again, thank you so much, Dre, for your $2 super chat. Wow, they young and sad. That is hurts to hear. Yeah, that hurt a lot. Dr. Steele, thank you so much for your $5 super chat. It's amazing and sad that the video was made in the late 70s or early 80s, and Black men and women still have these attitudes today. Dr. Steele, I don't know if we said it, but that video was 1986. Wow. Oh, Dr. Steele says it again. Also, the video shows what the sisterhood looks like. Wow. You saw the sisterhood in that? I just wanted to cry because they seem sad to me, very much in despair. So I've been trying to figure out for the longest, where did our value go? How did these young ladies ever think that it was best to have a child and not have a daddy around? Where the world did that come from? That's just corn bean, y'all. One more. I think we got one more, Black man.
Okay.
Two more. AP, thank you. The accountability partner. BMI, bad message. Yes. Forget about a rapper. Instead, don't even whoop it out. Move in your purpose with God. You said it. You said a mouthful. Let's see. And we got one more. Dr. Steele, I bet you anything the daughters of those young women have the attitudes today and probably passing them on to their daughters. You're right, because they would be what, about 36 years? Well, no, they were older than that. You're right. They're probably, those girls were 40 something, almost 50. What you think? Black man, I can't hear you.
My bad. They're probably in their 70s right now. 60s.
No, they were like 15, 16. That's 30.
Oh, these were young girls, 15, 16 years old.
Them girls right there look young to me.
Oh, they're probably in their 40s, late 40s.
40, 50s, yeah.
So I wonder how they feel about that video now.
I don't know.
If they're still alive. I would love to hear what they have to say now. That would be amazing to find those girls.
The women were coming from a place of no examples. They had no men around them, sound like to me. I don't even know what made them have sex with a man, though. That's what trips me out.
Exactly.
If you already know that this man has no substantial value, why in the world would you, it was a check. That's straight up check right there.
Yep.
That's a check. Dre says, I think I'm reading Dre. Oh, AP says, the accountability partner says the answer, fathers, in the home. You're right. There were none. That is the answer, though. Dre says, I saw the show BMU say sad. Yeah. Oh, you saw the girl with the hands, the 6 to 10 and the 12.
Yeah, he saw it.
Ooh, she was, hey, yeah, what's up with you, buddy? Hey, L, I need you to get married. Well, can we talk about you being married? That's all I want to talk about. I'm not even going to read your super chat. I'm going to give you your $5 back until you get married.
Where's the ring at, brother?
I'm just kidding. He says, is that man still financially responsibility in most states because they are married? He still is liable. Yep, he was. I think that was the thing, wouldn't it, black man?
Yep.
Because he had signed as the husband, he was. Oh, and I'm gonna tell y'all a twist to this. Black man didn't tell y'all about it, but the actual daddy. Oh, it was another one on there where the daddy. Let's go back a little bit. The woman and her husband were separating, getting a divorce. She got pregnant by her boyfriend. Before the divorce, she decided to stay with her husband. So the boyfriend no longer had rights to his son, his baby, and the daddy, which was her husband, the woman came and told him, well, me and my husband gonna raise this child. Did y'all hear what I said? Do I need to
girl too.
She said that her and her husband was going to raise her and her boyfriend's son, and the boyfriend really wanted his son. But since she was married, the dad, her husband, was considered the natural father. And there was nothing the boyfriend could do.
Hopefully she didn't put him on child support.
No, she didn't want to have nothing to do with him. She wanted him to disappear.
Damn.
Yeah, but he wanted his son. Now, is that not the messiest thing you've heard in 2022?
I'm telling you, listen, this is the world we live in. That's how we have to be grounded. That's why we have to be around the right people, the right circles. Because if you're not, you can fall into this ditch.
Aaron, I did not want you to marry the mess. She was messy. You have a nice, good woman that's there for you. But y'all, listen, what it is this. We're doing our marriages. We're carrying on in marriages, though we're single individuals.
Right.
That woman was not supposed to be having a relationship that yielded a pregnancy, knowing that she was still married to another man. That is what you call adultery. Her husband was not dead. She should have not carried on with another man that way. So it was all jacked up, y'all. Fornication, messed up. And this is what you get when you lose your covering. Dre, tell them. This is what you get when you lose your covering. So it's messy. It's terrible. But this is again what we're trying to teach people how to do. We're trying to teach people how to be married, the value of marriage and the value of woman and man.
Yeah, and that's why the Bible, my grandmother always used to say this term, the Bible is fulfilling itself. And just recently she said that to me. And she said, in the end, mothers will hate their own daughters, daughters will hate their mothers, sons will hate their fathers, fathers will hate their sons. And she said, what's right will be wrong and what's wrong will be celebrated.
Absolutely. And that's where we are.
And that's where we are. Yeah, exactly.
So black men, let's get in this thing a little bit deeper because we got a divide here that we gotta mend this divide because the problem I'm finding is the value. I do think that who was that said that? Lost in Translation, I think, said the fathers. Oh, it was AP about the fathers being in the home. You're exactly right. But I need to know, how do we let women know or share with women the value of the man? And men, I need you all to show us your value. I don't want to hear about your pleasures. Everybody loves sex. Somebody said that's why God made it feel so good.
Exactly.
So we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, God gave you something sacred and we didn't broke it. God gave us something sacred and we broke it.
Dearly beloved.
Can you imagine if sex was only for, just imagine if God made a rule that sex was only for married people. And if you had sex you before marriage, you would pass away.
But black man, he did do that. We the one made it corrupt. Think about it.
Yeah, we did corrupt it.
Think about it. Go back and think about what you just said again.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage was sex was marriage. We the one jacked it all up.
Yeah.
Then the knowledge of needing to know everything, and then the good and the evil came about. Y'all know where we at right now. We jacked the thing up. And he's been telling us along the way, he's been showing us along the way where we are, what we're doing wrong. And I'm just determined to get it back in the road. Other people just keep driving and then about to fall off the cliff, if not already falling off the cliff. I'm not going to be at the bottom of the hill. I'm going to be over here. So I'm just trying to share with others the how important it is. And it could work. Now, I don't know how we can express. See, but this is the part that blows my mind so much, black men, though, because I'm not a single woman, but I think single women can hang out with men all day, every day, and they see nothing in these people. But when it's time to get married, they trash.
Yep.
You know what I mean? What are you doing? How does that work? How do I hang out with you, sleep with you, share my life with you, my body with you, possibly stay in the house with you, have kids with you, and raise kids? But when somebody talk about marriage, it's like, what did marriage do?
It's amazing that you would rather be a single mom than a married wife with children. The average woman right now is having a baby at 23 years old, but telling people marriage is trash. And then when
I'm not ready for it. That's that's a real big decision.
I know I'm on top of this man every night, and I know we live together, and I know we paying bills, but I'm not ready for marriage. They're delusional.
Man or woman, who leads the divide? Man or woman, who leads the divide? How do we get rid of this divide? But before you answer that question, Mr. Milner has given us a $20 super chat.
Come on, Mr. Milner.
It starts with ordinary functional people openly speaking on a dysfunction that has taken over our culture. While stop trying to carry the worst of the people. Most of us ain't going to make it. We know this.
Yep.
You are so right. We are not going to make it. But guess what, Mr. Milner? We don't know which ones are. So we got to continue on with the messaging, the examples. We've got to keep fighting these dang on talking points, all these things that make people think that what they're doing is okay. I'm telling you, it's not.
Dearly beloved.
It's not okay to be out here having random sex, possibly leaving children behind because you didn't want to stop your pleasure. It's not. It's not women opening or not preserving your life or yourself for that man that God has intended for you to be a wife to. It's not. You got to be a virgin at some things. You put your mouth on this, you do this. You, like somebody said the other day, a woman ain't got but 3 holes, right? Was it something like that? What were you, 12 tentacles? Well, that makes 24. 24 tentacles? Where's all that happening at? Mr. Milner, you get the money lines.
Money line. Every time.
Give me mine.
Going up, need no
decline.
money line. I'ma run it
Every time.
Give me mine.
Going up, need no decline.
Yeah.
Dearly beloved.
It's tough. It's tough. And then security about these women. Remember I tell you my job. Oh, I'm trying to record them. So At my job, it wasn't that bad, but some of the women that were talking, I interrupted their conversation. I had to, security boss. And I said, well, what is it about your husband that makes you want to step out on your husband? She said, just a younger man. He has more energy. He's better at sex. And they're just younger. And she said, there's nothing bad against, and she's talking like she's not wrong. There's nothing bad about my husband. I love him. He just can't give me that spark that he used to give me sexually. Like, he's not as fast as like he used to be. He can't, hit it like he used to. So the younger men in their 20s, they ready. They know what they're doing.
Okay, so guess what? I can believe a silly woman would present herself that way. Mm-hmm. And I may even believe that she made some true statements, but that is something that she needs to go deal with her husband with, because I happen to think that there's absolutely things that her husband can do that he may not be comfortable with, introduced to, used to, or even feel normal, doing so. But what he doesn't need is for her to push him away and make him feel like he's not a man anymore when it comes to being in the bed.
But this was her response to me. She said, you always got something to say. She said, but even she said, I'm just a woman that's being honest. And this is how you come at me. Because I told her you was wrong. I said, you're wrong. I said, if you're going to do this to your husband, you need to leave him. You don't need to be having sex with your coworker over there. And then when your husband drive up, you kissing him in the mouth, getting in the car with him. You need to either going to be with your husband. She said, you always got something to say. She said, I'm going to tell you something. This go for you. No, this go for your wife. This go for every other wife, every other woman that's married. She said, every woman got their price. And when that number hit, they going to do what they do. And ain't nothing you can do about it.
Well, go tell your husband then.
That was her response.
Go tell your husband.
Every woman got their price. She said, look at these women up in here. She said, even you, go over there and offer that girl something over there that her husband can't do no more.
Tell her to put her thong on and go out there and tell her husband, be the big girl she is. Yep. Go tell your husband about it. Mm-hmm. Go tell your husband how you been meeting a man in the closet and what you've been doing for him in the closet. Go tell him. Yep. See, this is just like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see temptation. I told you this last time. Every time you tell that girl story, I see temptation in my mind. That movie, Temptation. And in Temptation, the counselor doesn't end well.
Nope.
And see,
she ended up with that yaya.
She ended up with what?
That yaya. That's what we call it in Louisiana.
The yaya.
We call that virus yaya.
You know what we call it?
What's that?
The package. With the package. They end up with the package. And listen, Bree, you right, SB, they don't want the responsibility of marriage. They don't, Bree, but guess what else? I actually think that they don't even know what it looks like, though. Because I gave an example a little earlier where a husband could easily tell a woman, you better go get you some girlfriends. Shoot, I ain't doing that. You don't understand that those could be the last words that you say before your wife is on a darn girls trip out there tricking, putting pineapples around it.
Toot it up. Because you just told her to go get some girl. Now, you didn't have any intentions. She didn't even have any intentions, but we're talking about influence. See, that woman you talking about right there, I bet she all over Instagram, reading all kind of posts, talking to all kind of single women that ain't got nothing. And she got a good man at home taking care of her, and it ain't even enough. She need to be smacked up. I told her cheating. I told her that's a part of cheating. Instagram. Yeah, because you're on Instagram with your breast out, and you looking all thirsty and bent all over stuff. I said, how's your husband allowing this? Well, he's probably so laid back in his way. He ain't even paying her but no attention. They've probably been married a long time. And he just taking care of himself. She's probably a beautiful woman. He's a good looking man. He just doing his thing. He's just being a good husband. She said she's been married for 32 years. See there? And that young boy tearing up. Oh, I just see. Oh, God. And guess what? She can't get pregnant, can she? No. Oh, okay. Ugh. Yeah, all her kids grown and gone. What if her children see her or get wind of it? Man, y'all, I mean, you know what? People better stop playing. I just don't even
Look, guys, that is not a good example of a married woman, of being a married woman. Black man, don't let her shut you up. Just
no.
she tell you, I'm telling you, the next married woman, the next, keep telling her she out of order. You're sinning. You're spiritually corrupt right now. You might just blow up and combust right now if you don't get your life together.
And the thing is,
at this point, because you've already tried to talk to her calmly, so you don't care at this point. She's gonna be like, mind your business. I am minding my business. You bit right now because you bringing it into my workplace.
And she influences the other women. You can tell because other girls be eating it up. They love when it's story time. They love because she was like, baby, I ain't worried about nothing he's saying because, baby, when he in there, and I'm looking back, pushing him because, girl, it hurt, but it feels so good to me. I ain't worried about no damn husband. I'm trying to get me. You know, I'm like, damn. Like,
you know what? Oh, I got it. Tell her to keep on. Yeah, let her keep on because one of them good old girlfriends that she's talking to.
Go get her husband.
No. They ain't gonna get him. They're gonna write that letter, that anonymous letter. That that sister code. That sister code will always get you good.
Yep.
They're gonna write the letter anonymously to the husband, telling them how she get banged in the closet. Watch what the sisterhood will do for you.
Because this is what I told her. I said, what happens one day, you know, and I was just playing, but I said, what happens one day we have a little company gathering and I slip and say that to your husband. If you do that, we're going to have a big ass problem. I said, what if I just slip and say, hey, bro, you know, she throwing that thing from the free throw line at work and they go a wall over there. Right. And you about to stay a comedian and stay out my business, right?
Wow.
So that's what she told. So and security boss, if I didn't tell you who this woman was, I'll let you walk into this building and let you meet this woman without telling you who she is. You will shake her hand. She is the most professional, well-spoken woman I've ever seen in my life.
I'm not shaking anybody's hand in your building. I'll give them. Like, you remember how you used to do when you was younger? What's up?
But when she greets you, she's the most well-spoken, well-dressed, just carries herself all so professional, but she just living a trash life.
Now I'd be like, what's up? I ain't fooling with her. None of them. I'd be like, nah.
Beautiful woman. I'm gonna send you a picture of her. She is beautiful.
It be you. Are you the one? Shoot, black man. So listen, me and our women, who leads this divide and what can we do? Guys, listen, y'all heard the title. Y'all have seen it. We haven't mentioned his name, but Derrick Jaxn is kind of who inspired this amongst a lot of other things. The young men, black men taking their lives. Derrick married a woman in church, and I'm assuming he was in church at the time. Now that he's more accomplished and more full of himself, he's decided that woman was no longer good enough for him. He's decided to, I ain't gonna say he's gonna leave his wife. Did he put it out the divorce? Did he really do the divorce papers?
Yeah, he divorced her.
He did the divorce papers, and now he's on different social outlets with this new girl. What do you think about that? Do you think this new girl is gonna be that wife, or is she gonna give him exactly what he's looking for?
I'm laughing.
Why?
Funny to me. It's hilarious.
Why?
Because what's up, kid? What's up, my boy? Logic. The reason I'm laughing about this because before I started social media, before I started a YouTube channel, I was on Facebook just doing Facebook lives, and I did a Facebook live one day because Derrick Jaxn was up there talking about, men, you ain't this, and you trash. And I did a video, a side by side, and I said, this dude right here is trash. And one day, y'all believing in him, I still got it. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna repost. I'm gonna put it on everything. I said, this dude is trash. He's not good for y'all to listen to. Y'all just hating on him because he fine and because he faithful to his wife. Y'all always got something to say about men that's stepping up and doing the right thing. Y'all need to be more like him. Oh, the comments. So I went back and looked to see who it was, and I just inboxed them all. Do you remember what you said on this video? Where's Derrick Jaxn at now? He been cheating, he been trash, and he used women to get their bread. He used women. Anytime a man could come out right now, security ball, I can come out and say, you know what? I'm no longer going to do Black Men Unfiltered. I'm going to be black man filtered because I want to filter out all these men that are just trash. And we want to uplift the black woman. If she slept with 100 men and she got hands all over her, it's only because it was because of the man. And let me do that for about 4 months. Baby, I have 100,000 subscribers. I'll be on Fox Soul. I mean, it's ridiculous. When men pander, they get paid.
They sure do. But guess what, though? He just set us back 100 years. Because now the one man that they thought that was different has been now seen all over social media, being just like all the rest of them. You know, he might as well go on over there with Cynthia G man now.
But the women, the crazy thing is,
don't you
women are still supporting him. Yes,
no.
they are.
I've never watched Derrick Jaxn. I don't know anything about him. I really.
If you go to his comments, oh my God.
Honestly, I knew when he came out with the first cheating scandal with the doctor. I heard about that when him and his wife were sitting there talking. And then this time right here, but I have never heard him actually communicate. All I know is people be picking at him because they say he talking to women from the car.
And you know what? Even in the comments when he's saying, I'm really not gonna be with my wife anymore, and I'm gonna move forward, and because everything is not meant to be together, and I want to make sure I don't want to leave a blemish on her life. I want her to start new and me start new. The women in the comments, it's okay, Derrick. We understand, Derrick. We here for you. What?
Okay, so you saying the sister code is really being dropped?
Oh,
why are they not flocking to the wife?
Good.
They would be more like, baby girl, I'm sorry this happened. He's just going through something, or no, none of that.
All these men that are pandering, the roots, the chickens have come home to roost. Even DJ Envy, who sat on Breakfast Club and said Kevin Samuels used to sell cologne outside the store, he trash. What he say is trash.
Wait a minute.
DJ Envy from Breakfast Club
said that Kevin Samuels was trash.
Yeah, he said Kevin Samuels was trash. I don't see how these men listen to this trash dude and all this, because he promoting women and men, picking, have their options and all this other stuff. And DJ Envy, he's against it. Now this is the same man that wife said she faked the orgasm for 10 years because he wasn't hitting it right. But we're not gonna talk about that. But today, I saw a video today. I know you probably ain't seen it. We should talk about news earlier. Today, this woman came out and did a live video and said, yes, I was screwing DJ Envy. Yes. And Charlamagne knew about it. His co-host knew about it. Everybody at the radio station know that I'm having sex with him. And now today, his wife know.
You mean other than Erica?
Other than
Erica? Oh. So that might be why he not making them orgasms, because he's spreading it too thin.
No, come on.
But listen. Okay, so let me get this straight. So you're saying the fact that Derrick has been in the corner for women for the longest, the fact that he's now has done something that seems to be totally against the woman, the women don't care.
No, they don't. They feel like any man this is how old he's.
Oh, I got it.
He is great.
Though he messed up, he still standards for women.
Yeah, he living by that Bible verse. Yea, those they slay me, yet will I trust him. And so basically what he's doing is he's flipping it. I know I made a mistake, ladies, and I want her to have a new life, a new beginning without me, because I've caused her so much harm and pain.
So that's the picture, carrying her, talking about the wedding dress. That's where all that came from. Oh, Derrick.
I'm telling you, he's a marketing genius.
So the women love that.
Oh, they love it. Oh, don't worry about it. You know why the women love it? Because now that he's a single man, no longer married, every woman wants their position beside him. And so, he's gonna be running through him. He's gonna be running through him.
Okay, so on the flip side, though, you're saying, as far as Kevin Samuel go, they're hating him because he wants men to be able to win.
Right.
And
because like Derrick Jaxn, he didn't like Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson. He didn't like Kevin Samuels either, at all. And so when Kevin would do stuff, Derrick be like, he in the truck. You know, I was watching Kevin Samuels the other day, and Kevin Samuels, he always talking about women and talking about women are the fruit of the world. They're the ones that need to be uplifted and loved. What is he talking about? Your options. And what are you talking about? The weight? What about that weight she got because you stressing her out? What about that weight that she got because you coming in late from work? What about that weight? I'm like, oh my God. Oh, the women, yes, get his ass, Derrick.
That guy's on there doing, it's another guy on there that you sent me a video of, does the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but he says that too against, I don't know if it's just against Kevin Samuels, but period, he'll say, the woman is so stressed and this and this and this and that. Yeah, I've heard it.
He trashed too. And that's why, you know, when you call these guys out, they don't show up.
Okay.
Because I reached out to him. I said, hey man, let's do a show together. I'll come to your show, you come to mine. I just want to confront you on some of the stuff you're saying about these men. Right? Because he got on one show talking about like women in your category that's been married for years. He's talking about those women were slaves to their husbands. You were slaves, and you ain't, and these women not gonna be your mama. And, you know, if you looked up to your mama when your mama was doing everything for your daddy, your mama was a slave. And a woman has her own thing. She should be independent. She should be able to go out and do things. And your ass should be at the house cooking. Your ass should be cleaning. I'm like,
so see, black men. That's what I'm talking about right there. Brittany just said it. She says, Derrick literally warned women against men like himself. But this is what I'm talking about. You hear all these talking points.
Yeah.
He said somebody's gonna be a slave. Now you got women over here every day talking about, I don't want to be no slave. And it's like, what are y'all talking about right now? Stop it. This is what I'm saying. There's got to be something organic and authentic about having a relationship that leads to a marriage. It can't be, let's check these boxes, and if she meets this, then she's the one. Or if he makes a certain amount of money, blah, 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 he's the one. It can't be that way. That's not going to get us there. It's going to get us all this foulness that we have now. The man who's actually preaching this, he done had an affair with the Instagram model that don't want nothing. And then on the other side, the man who hating, he done look, you ain't getting ready to stop him from having his pleasures. You know what I mean?
And that's why I say all the men, when men put themselves out like they're perfect, never believe them. Because even like Jimmy Swaggart in Louisiana, I'm from Louisiana. Even Pastor Jimmy Swaggart. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you ever go out and mess with those prostitutes or mess with those women of the night, because those women are not good. They'll lead you into a hole of hell. And if you need blessing tonight, I'll lay hands on you. And guess what? 6 months later,
he had a woman.
I just want to say to the church,
the devil made him
paid for a prostitute. She gave me some oral pleasures in my car. I'm so sorry. Will the church forgive me? Man, get out of here. You've been doing it. You was doing it when you was up there telling people not to do it.
Who is that? It's natural logic. It's natural for a woman to want D and resources. DJ got them both. Okay, I'm gonna agree with you on that. It is natural for a woman to want to procreate and have sex. You're exactly right. And resources, I guess that's important. Yeah, you're right.
Until that thing starts stinking. This here, security ball. I'm gonna send you a video. There was a lady on a subway train, and she was a cute girl, and a dude tapped her. He said, ma'am. She said, yes. He said, ma'am, nobody else on this train gonna tell you. He said, but ma'am, you got a funk coming from under that thing, under that skirt. He said, can you please get off the train on the next stop, please?
Oh my God, Black man, that's embarrassing.
And the other women was like, oh my God, it is so bad. It is so bad. And she said, oh, y'all can really smell it? She said, yes, it's so bad.
Oh, like she couldn't stop.
And my wife was like, she got a bacteria infection. She got an STD. She probably got chlamydia or something.
Oh, Black man, stop.
Yeah.
Listen,
just walking around like this, fanning that shit around.
It says, when are we going to get a join button? It's how you doing tonight on time, Black man?
Huh?
How you doing tonight on time? We've been here almost 2 hours.
Oh, good. Let's roll. Let's roll. I'm good.
Couple one at a time just to see what they got to say. We're not going to be here long though. So, Mr. Boss, can you drop the link for just a little bit?
I know Logic coming.
Logic. Oh, let me see what Mr. Milner says.
Hey, Brittany B, I needed you the other week ago. So
Our black women have elevated themselves above the black man. They're black men. You're right. They will never submit to black men. They have elevated themselves above. Black men need to stop creating the 304s they say they despise. Leadership mindset is a must. You are exactly right. And guess what? Thank you. Thank you so much for that, because the problem is I'm not gonna say it's the problem completely, but it is devaluing for a man to waste his time on a 304. It's very devaluing, especially if he does it and he ends up having a baby with her.
My
Especially
Lord.
if that happens. What do we do now, black man? So then you got other women that may have looked at this man as being, wow, he's a leader. He's a good head of the household. He got his head on straight. And she might still see him as that later on in life, but they may have a missed opportunity because of some pleasures or desires.
I know a lady right now.
I need some solutions. We're going to drop the link in the chat. I need somebody to come up and give us some real life solutions to something that we can start being examples to, sharing in our knowledge to what is it that we can do so we can show value to each other again. I mean, whatever. We need to do it.
Hey, Brittany B said, she said she a real nigga. They don't want the real.
No, she didn't say that.
Yeah, it is. It's right there.
Brittany didn't say she was no.
Brittany B, come on up, Brittany.
Brittany, you did not say you. I don't even see it. Wait a minute. Hold on.
At 7:53. 7:53.
Hold on. You know I can't. Let me see.
Just about 7:53.
Hey, Dr. Steele.
Right on the bad bull. Right on the big bad bull at 7:53.
I don't see
There
it.
you go.
Brittany, logic. I'm a real ninja. They don't want the real. Brittany, what's the real look like? Brittany, come on up and tell us what you're talking about. We're looking for some solutions though, because if they don't want the real, what we're gonna give them? What happens to us as women? Do we stay uncovered? I mean, do we have the answers to all the problems? Are we doing, or are we like what Mr. Milner just said? Have we put ourselves above our men? And we're just out of order if that's the case.
Right.
I mean, there's got to be some good men out there somewhere.
And one of the
good women.
One of the young ladies at my job alluded to, she said, when it comes to women having sex for years and centuries, women have wanted to have their sexual freedom, but it has been suppressed by men. And now that women have their sexual freedom, they're being criticized for wanting to have 3 or 4 penises a day. Mr. Logic, what's up, boy? Your laugh stupid. What's up, boy?
No, man. I've been. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. You chilling, setting up, getting ready to blow.
You look good. You look really good today.
Oh, I know. You know. I always, you know what I'm saying, what an SB or whatever. You know what I'm saying.
Give me my props when I wore my ninja shirt. I mean, my ninja sweatshirt. I was cool. I got a white one. I'm the only person that has a white one that I've seen.
White is dope.
I know. I had my white one on. I was fresh to death.
No, I did come in. I saw it.
Oh, you did? Okay, I didn't think you. Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting on you to post a picture so I could repost it, but you never did.
Okay, I'll do that. So what's going on? What you think about this? Listen, man or woman, who leads the divide? What you think?
Who leads the divide? Both.
Yeah, of course. But who leads it?
I think it depends on. I'm gonna say the men lead the divide, and I'm gonna tell you the reason that the men lead the divide. If you hear the conversation that's been going on for so long, where dudes been damn near begging out here, they begging for stuff that, and a lot of these talking points gonna come back to a lot of stuff I say. When I used to say it, people used to frown up at me and say, no, it's coming back to it because a lot of these men do not deserve what they want from these women. So they lead a divide. They won't fit, feminine, all this kind of stuff like this, and they working at Amazon warehouse. So
Dearly beloved,
you're not gonna have that. It's like it's an incel nation. But look, think about this.
Dude, y'all made me spit my damn water out, man.
You just say something and just kind of keep going.
All of us know the world before social media took effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before social media took effect, men knew they had to provide in order to get. That changed the game on social media. Social media, you could look at little baby life, you could look, and it happened for women too. Don't get it twisted, it happened for women too, but when it come down to it, the men are the biggest because they want things from women that they cannot provide. Like I said, women has up their standards so high that they offer these men partnerships and these men is buying into it. But anytime you in a partner, and I talk about this on your channel, anytime you get a woman and a man negotiate, and in they're negotiating a partnership, that means she has an equal vote.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I keep saying it all the time. What is a man role? To provide D and give resources. What's a woman role? To take D and manage resources. That's not the landscape of today.
I agree with you, Logic. I mean, when you saying it, you're right. You're right. But we're trying to say, how do we get this thing back in the road? Because most men, like you say, they still want a traditional family. They still want a traditional marriage per se.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the partnership. So how do they get it? How do we get our women to see the value in the men, even though it may not, on face value, it may not look that way, because a man is more valuable than his provision or his resources. He is.
I got it for you.
There you go.
If you work at the Amazon warehouse, you need to find your chick that work at that's a cook at Waffle House.
Okay.
Or you can pull her out of that role. You can take her out of Waffle House, and then you can provide to her everything she needs. But if you working at Amazon, you can't go get a chick that work at a law firm. No, she's off limits for you. It's classes to this. We no longer have classes no more. Everybody just one jumble mumble. No, look, for me, I never. If I go to Walmart right now, you know what happened? They ain't gonna say no to me, because you know what happened? I can pull them. I can pull their mama. I can pull all of them out the hood. They know and guess what? You think they're gonna say something to me about anything? There's the door.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mr. Logic. I'm sorry. Mama, cook him some beans. Cook him something. He's gonna kick us out of here.
So how do we start teaching these classes per se? How do we not teach classes, but how do we share status in class with individuals so they can be in the right place to get their right mates?
They know it. It's there. Security boss, they know it. Social media give them access to so many different things. Half of these ghetto chicks never knew what a Birkin bag was until Lil Baby and Kanye started passing them out. So now in their mind, they say, I want a Birkin bag too. I want a drop top, whatever. I want that too. When they look in their hood, they don't see it. They see a whole bunch of Dodge Neons and Honda Accords.
Now, Mr. Logic, I got a question for you. There was this guy and this girl. Her name is Tamika, and his name is Keith. Tamika and Keith Williams. And this is them right here. I'm gonna show you a picture of them first. This is them. This is a couple. They married, right?
Mm-hmm.
They getting drugged in the Essence magazine this month. They getting drugged. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna read to you why. And Hot 103 Jams posted this as well. Keith and Tamika recently just got married. Tamika is a neurosurgeon and earns $400,000 a year. Keith is a manager at Finish Line and earns $44,000 a year. After the wedding, she paid for. Keith moves into Tamika's house. She buys him a new Lexus to replace his old Honda Accord, even pays for a 2-week honeymoon to Jamaica. Keith loves Tamika with all his heart and vice versa. And they're happy together. But all Tamika's family and friends keep saying is she's very stupid for marrying down. Since Keith, right? Since they've gotten married, Keisha no longer talks to her family because they have no respect for her husband. since Keith is the man, is there a problem with their financial arrangement? That's what they're asking from the radio station. They're in love. Does the money difference make them unequally yoked?
Yes, it's going to fail. It's going to look. Check this out. Damn, this Secure the Boss channel. So I have to watch my language though.
You can still say it without saying it. I mean,
so watch this. 5 times out of 10, she's probably digmatized, right? So she's willing to give more in this relationship. This is the problem. It's gonna fail. We see this a lot. It's gonna fail. She is, you know what I'm saying? In that household, he work at Finish Line. She a neurosurgeon, right?
Yep.
I mean, what can he really say in that household?
Nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what they probably do? His chick probably pay for his car.
It sounds like that she's older too, that she's older than him. So it seems like what's going to happen is she's going to bring him up. And then when he get about 30, he going to be out. But I don't know. Then again, I don't know. Y'all don't know that they could be.
Yeah, here go the ages. She's 43. He's 40.
Oh.
Yeah. They yeah.
Oh, that's pretty tight right there.
He been in the streets and everything. And
look, that might be, we're gonna have to follow them. Is it a way to dial into their page? Because it ain't about money, especially. So y'all think this woman is gonna be like, if she doesn't get to call the shots, she gonna put him out?
Say that again.
If she doesn't get to call the shots in the home, that she's gonna put him out, they're gonna be done, the relationship won't work.
She's already calling the shots, Secure the Boss.
Tell me why you said that.
Because this is not the 1800s. This is not the early 1900s, right?
Right.
The role of a man will still be there.
Right.
But she's able financially to be the head of the household. I want to see who the head of the household in their taxes.
But guess what? Logic, none of that really. Sometimes people marry for real. And it has nothing to do with the money. It has nothing to do with the finances. Me and Mr. Boss been married a very long time. There's been several years that I made a lot more money than he did, but all of it went in one pot.
But Secure the Boss, you got more of an old school spirit, and
that woman is 43, y'all.
Let me finish though. You're grounded through Christianity, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing is, and stop me if I'm wrong, neither you or Mr. Boss lead your household. God lead your household. God gave the power to Mr. Boss. So now, because God gave the power to Mr. Boss through the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? You're doing your job by following the scriptures, which instructs you to follow Mr. Boss. You don't have these issues.
I think don't you think that may be the way it was put together when you say marriage?
Yeah, I mean, but you got to realize this is 2022. I mean, we about to go in 2023. Half of these people can't spell God or Jesus. So it really, like I said, because I mean, people be getting mad at me. I was like, no, you know what? I actually align with Christians' beliefs, but I'm not gonna get my head cut off by one of these scoundrels out here because I'm trying to. I'm gonna turn the other cheek. Man, they cut my head off. I gotta take them out first. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't have to be a Christian belief, because I'm sure Muslims probably believe the same thing.
They the man want to cut your head off, Secure the Boss. Muslims now. They'll fit too.
It's an order to the marriage, but I understand what you're saying. But Logic, that's a good question. If people don't have any godly principles, despite whatever religion, and they don't have that moral concept to their relationship, what are they basing their roles on?
By physical attributes, by these physical things, these physical tangible attributes,
right?
Money, resources, all that kind of thing, that lead the household in the absence of God. See, I totally agree. I never really shut you down for it. I'm just
wondering, like, if they don't have a concept of that, what exactly is gonna keep them in line with anything? She liable to make him go sit on the front porch.
Well, look, you got to look at this. Nick Cannon got how many women?
10.
10. What keep them in line, security boss?
Well, I would say that they're not.
No, they're in line. You don't see them come out. You don't see them stepping out.
I mean, I don't know them, but I would say that they're doing whatever they wanted to do. Trust me.
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason that they're in line is because he have resources.
Yep.
Resources make the world.
Calling that in line because they are submitting to him for his resources. That's what the alignment is.
Yes.
Him and only him.
Oh, I'm sorry, black man.
No, you good. Him and only him. When they're submitted to him, as long as they're his baby mama, they're gonna be for him and only him. If you step out, he cutting you loose.
Yep. And let him lose that money.
They gone.
Watch them act the fool.
Yep.
But if they was aligned to the scriptures, then he lose that money. You know what I'm saying? They're aligning to the scriptures. The scripture told them that, hey, you will fall under this man. But now they're doing it by these physical attributes. His money will always keep them there.
So he's paying them to be there.
Well,
Yeah,
hey,
I mean,
come on now. Look at Nick Cannon and look at the chicks that he's getting. Come on, let Nick Cannon.
yeah. If Nick Cannon worked at Home Depot, he would not pull those chicks.
Huh? But y'all like Home Depot. I like to use the Amazon warehouse. Let him work at Amazon warehouse, security boss. You know he wouldn't have.
So I mean, okay. So what we're saying though is these women are operating. They're not operating as wives. They're just operating as, oh God, I don't even know what I would call them. Maybe just mistresses of some type, because he's not married, right?
Well, in the absence of religion, in the absence of power, right?
Right.
What's next?
You got to tell me, because I've never thought of this world with an absence of my creator.
Resources.
I don't see that either. I see that God is my resources and he's the one who creates this for us. So I'm still having trouble wrapping my head around wandering around here in this world with no moralistic ties to anything, just all about my thoughts and what I do and what I want. And I can't.
So I'm going to tell you from the hood rat standpoint. You know what I'm saying? I'm over reporting live from the hood rat. No, it's resources. In the absence of God, in the absence of instructions, they go for the next powerful thing, which is resources.
Okay.
That's why we have it in the thing. That's why most of these relationships is built off of partnerships now, because it's not feasible for every man to be in the top 20%. So now these men have to negotiate with these women because they're living in these relationships absent of the scriptures. The scriptures direct them to do what they're supposed to do. So in the absence of that, they're like, hold up, wait, I'm making 100,000 and you're working in the Amazon warehouse. Huh? Submit to you? No, they ain't gonna do it.
So do you know that, are you aware if men are aware of this without the structure, without the God, that there's nothing left but a partnership? Do men know this?
No, they know it.
But they still request traditional values.
Well, because it's YouTube talking points.
Okay.
Like, see, the thing is, like, these conversations go into circles because nobody, you said all the time, what is the solution?
Yeah.
We can never get to the solution because this is something that I just discussed, right? That anybody disagree outside of scriptures, only thing you have left to look up to is resources. And even within the Bible, outside of God, people worship everything, right? Yeah. Calves, gold, they did everything. And then these was resources. In the areas they worship the calves, you got to realize that the calves was actually, it was what kept them going. It was a primary resource in that area. It was in certain places in Egypt that they worshiped silk because, you know what I'm saying, silk meant so much to them. That's where these idols came from.
Right.
So when you take away that, you will see they're going to start worshiping resources that provide them wealth. Whether they're a sheep herder, whether they got livestock, whether they got gold, they're doing all this. Outside of the scriptures, this is the only thing you have left. Modern day world, women control more resources in these relationships. That's why it's partnerships now. It's no longer a relationship. If you add the scriptures back into it, or you give the man the resources, it will become more of a relationship.
Now,
Well,
let me ask you this.
Caitlin says this, so we need to make sure we are on the same page. Caitlin says, we also understand you don't need scripture to be a good person. If you need religion to tell you how to act right, you may not be a very good person to begin with. That's just my 2 cents. Caitlin, I'm saying we have a relationship with the creator. That is what makes you act right. It has nothing to do with the religion. How you serve or how you worship is how you do it. But you have to have a moral foundation in order to make good decisions. You do.
And we normally get that from what? I mean, even though people say that we got this innate ability to have this moral code, but if you follow the Tory Lane trial, you ain't got a moral code.
Yeah, they do. They in there lying. That's why they lying.
That's not a moral code.
No, they had one because it's innately they know they lying. That's why they doing what they doing. That's why they got in the car and started jumping around because they knew they were wrong. But
everything you see that's going on today, and it's going to get. It shows the lack of moral code that people have innate in them.
I agree with you about that. They have it, but you still know right from wrong whether you choose it or not. So I'm agreeing with you on that.
No, because it's people. That's what I'm saying. When you take something away, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you take that, because even when I was coming up, right? Even if my mom did take us to church, we still had that moral code, right? It was still that don't exist no more. These people today are savages. For her to take that man to trial, right? Her and her friend. You're destroying this man right before his eyes.
And it's a lie.
And that's what I'm saying. It's crazy and it's gut-wrenching. If you look, I'm gonna give you another example.
Wait a minute, Logic. I've seen him. No, not like wait a minute like that. I'm just telling you, I agree with you. I've seen how the flesh is now being controlled by the devil. I get it. But they still know that they're wrong. But what she's saying is, I'm gonna be first. I'm the salvage. I'm gonna make sure I'm good and I don't care about nobody else. The moral code, I get what you're saying. I'm agreeing with you now. I thought you meant that they never had one, don't know right from wrong. They absolutely do. They just choosing not to live by it.
But see, after so long, security boss, if you go so long without a moral code,
you're right.
You go 2 generations without a moral code, right?
Yeah.
You would actually think you're right. Have you seen that Twitter files that they releasing? Like, it's when you go so long without this moral code, when you start seeing, you know what, government start doing these different things, and you go so long without it, right? If you think Megan Thee Stallion is bad, wait till you see the 2040 version of Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, I won't. I'll be good. But I understand where you're going with this, though. I do. Let me see.
Logic.
Go ahead, Black Man. Polo, and then go ahead, Black Man.
Okay, so I want to say this because we got into a heated argument on my network at the barbershop when we were talking about the guy that's over the sports medicine for Georgia. He was homeless outside of a restaurant, real nice restaurant. And he knew that's where the money was. A lady would come every day, give him money, speed the story up. The lady and him instead of just throwing him money, she started having a conversation with him. Why are you in this situation? Why are you poor? He started telling her, I lost everything, blah, 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 blah. I was in school, couldn't finish school. This is my life now. They start talking outside the restaurant. A week later, they talking inside the restaurant, talking. She started dating this man.
Uh-oh.
Watch this. She dated this man for 6 months, put him up, right? She's a lawyer, put him up. After they dated for a while, he wanted to marry her. They got married. Watch this. She paid for him to go to school. Now he's over sports medicine for Georgia University in Georgia. He does sports medicine there now. As a man that went back to school, and now he's making 6 figures and she is too.
Bye-bye.
Now watch this. The guys on the panel got into an argument because they asked the question, oh, that's a good story. Oh, y'all think that's a good story? And the men were like, hell yeah. They said, but what would you say if your daughter was a lawyer and this man was trying to holler at your daughter and he was homeless? Would you allow your daughter to be with a homeless man? And the story still turned out the same.
Well, that would be an extreme story. We can't deal with extremes, but if it works out, it works out, because it could have actually went to the left too.
Exactly.
So the thing is, though, when your children get a certain age, they don't do what you say do or suggest do, excuse me, or have been an example of anyway. So you just got to pray that they make it through and let them live their lives. I done been hurt several times of trying to run my daughter's life. So I no longer participate in that.
Yep. That's
guys and y'all, when your kids get old enough, don't even worry about it. Just say, what you're supposed to do. You got to live your own life. Let them go. I'm sorry.
What's going on, Bolo?
That's how I feel. Bolo. I hear something. Bolo.
I'm here.
Black man.
I'm just playing with him.
I don't hear nothing.
Okay, Bolo. Oh, Bolo, go back out and come back in, because we can't hear you.
If he had a security boss hoodie, these hoodies.
We can see the
when y'all get up here with these bad signals on these, I'm telling you, one time I got on a panel with a bad signal. I put on my security boss hoodie and I did this here, and it increased the static electricity that was going on, and then now my phone coming in clear. Get your hoodie.
Right? You know what the problem? You know what happened? That shirt is 5 stars. We 5 stars here. See, you might be chat ninja worthy, but I'm 5 stars. So you know what you get when you come to 5 stars. But listen, Logic, you are right about that. And T-Shaw, she summed it up too. People are responding and acting without any moral code. But my point is, I still think people know right from wrong. But I agree too with you. If you respond and act in wrongness for too many years, 2 decades, that's 20 years, then you do believe what you're saying or what you're doing. So what can we do about it? How can we get these classes or these statuses to be what they need to be, considering we telling everybody is because you got this access, this Instagram, this social media, you could see all these different type of women, and if you can pull her, you can pull her. So if we got that going on, how do we let these men or women know, hey, that man ain't for you, or that man or woman ain't for you? How do you get that back in order?
Can't. It's nowadays they used to the control. They used to it. What you got to realize is that a lot of these women with resources, when you see them, they date down. Why do women with resources date down and not up?
Definitely, they can control the situation. I would see that happening.
And when I'm saying it, like, look, I go outside on my balcony every day and I see PlayStations falling. As soon as whoa, man, that was a PlayStation. You know what I say?
She threw them out
in the household. Because I guarantee you this, ain't no woman coming in here cutting off no light switch, throwing some, unplugging no PlayStations. No. Why not?
Because you can.
But now if she come here, she go have on that mortgage. Ain't nobody. Look, you know what she gonna do? She gonna say, hold up, wait. You telling me I'm here cooking? I'm going have? I get a half for the book. I want your attention now. Say, hold up, I'm chilling, I'm doing something. No, I want it now. Look, that's the dynamic we see. That's that power. And now when they have somebody that would, like myself, a woman to look at me was like, I don't know. I can control him.
Okay, but like you
security boss.
But you started out by saying you were holding men responsible, saying they were leading in the divide. But now it's almost, from what I'm hearing, you saying that the women are responsible for the divide because they're the ones that have the most, well, I ain't gonna say most, but they have larger amount of resources now, and they're not willing to conform. So they would be leading the divide, not the men.
No, this is what I said. Men, just like everything else, the lack of the moral codes, generation by generation, if you tolerate it, you might as well be giving it the bow, the stamp of approval. See, it's not necessarily that it's us that did this. This was something that we dealing with from our grandparents and our fathers.
True.
It's right now we're living in, it's a generational curse. And we're not doing that about it. little things pop up and blossom on social media. But let's be honest. You talk about solutions, right?
I'm trying.
But let somebody go live right now.
Yeah.
And they'll say, I hate these. Oh, I'm nigga. Oh.
Right.
What happened?
Yeah, and guess what? They'll have 300 people in their live listening to them.
And that's the problem.
Nobody say nothing. It's amazing. Nobody will say nothing to them. They won't say that's crazy talk. Why are you saying that?
Because that's the absence of moral codes.
Mm.
And now when you're dealing with it, even with them, just like Derrick Jaxn, he don't believe nothing he say. But you know what social media provide him? A free platform, okay, resources. Once he get the resources, he was like, she don't look the same no more.
Right.
Now I got the resources. I can get, like I said. And when I say give D, right, it's physical attributes that come with that too.
Right.
So now he's formulating, came into the right thing. Now he's saying, peace out, lady. I'm out. And he's going into another tribe of women. And he gonna eventually do the same thing to her too. Ain't finna be no wedding bells. I'll be honest with you. I doubt if Derrick Jaxn ever get married again after he get this divorce.
Nope, he not.
I would think he shouldn't. Why would he? He can play his hand much better being single.
Yep.
Especially if they feeling sorry for him, like Black Man has said.
I'm working on myself right now, guys.
But the moral code would tell him what, though, security boss, that he should be responsible for that lady. He should be responsible for that vessel. That's his responsibility. That's the moral code.
Right.
Moral code no more. What he gonna look at? The scriptures?
Well, I mean, he came in on them.
But guess what?
What you're saying, this whole platform, all this right here is saying it's okay to move just like he's moving. Everybody's saying it's okay. She don't look. I don't know how she looked in the beginning. She don't look the way she was supposed to look. She ain't doing it for you no more. She maybe don't cook, don't clean. I don't know what she's doing and not doing. I don't know what he's claiming. I don't know how it broke up. But all those reasons are reasons for you to leave your wife as far as these platforms are concerned.
Yeah. And it's getting worse. You me tell you why it's getting worse, security boss? This is the social media effect. I did a video about this like almost 5 years ago, and I was looking at it the other day, right? The problem is now is this engagement on social media, it connects you with everybody simultaneously, right? So he can be able to cheat with a chick, where back in our day, you know, you had to go to cheat with a chick. Go surrounding there, so you wouldn't think about doing it because you was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You remember
see me?
Yeah, somebody get caught at Ruby Tuesday, the Waffle House, the mall. Yeah, and now dudes like, you know what? I ain't gonna even really do it. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. Social media now connects you with everybody. You know what I'm saying? A girl jumping his DM, the social media effect going to play. He good. I guarantee you that chick that he messing with now, hit him up in his DMs, and she is not from his city. I can promise you that.
You're right. I'm sure. I don't know where she's. I don't know anything about it because I don't follow him like that. But you're right. Even in the DMs now, you know, you can talk to somebody like you talking on the phone and never know their number. Just push that button and they there.
Boy,
that's something else right there.
And all she looking at is he got a blue check. The security boss, the blue check's like a 6-pack.
Does he really have a blue check though? I don't know. Does he have one? Does Derrick have a blue check?
I'm pretty sure he got blue check.
Hell yeah.
Let's
hell
see.
Yeah.
Bolo, are you there?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We got you. How you doing tonight?
I'm all right. I had to go get me an SB Nation shirt to get my lights up.
Wait, audio still bad, Bolo. So look, put on the hoodie.
Put the hoodie on.
Yeah, put the hoodie on.
Got the hoodie on. I got the, you know what I'm saying? Black man, what's going on? I'm working on your voice, brother.
What's going on, brother? It's so good to see you. Good.
Yeah, I mean, Logic has been on fire, man. Logic is on fire.
Oh, he got that shirt on.
Listen, you know what Logic is saying is absolute. You know, what we have to understand is how you think is what you will be. That's absolutely what it is. And we have to start to understand the spiritual side of it, right? And this started from, and this is kind of controversial because people don't look at it from this perspective. Adam had control of it all. Remember, the Lord gave him dominion of it all. Satan didn't approach Adam. He approached his woman. And what did he say to his woman? The woman said to him, I'm not supposed to eat of that fruit because we will all die. And what did he say to her? He said, no, you won't die. You'll be like them. You know the good and evil. You'll be like a God. That jealousy that she had for her husband to even out the planes, she knew she wasn't going to see it. She knew that this was something that was going to happen eons, thousands of years. You have to understand that fight, when you go deep into the scriptures, she didn't just eat a fruit. She made a pact. She made a deal. And this is what people don't understand. The scripture says that the woman shall circumpass the man. Where is she? She circumpassed the man. She's above the man here. That was the deal. Men can't say nothing. You look at every movie. I went to go see Black Panther. I thought it was a better movie than the first one, but you look at it, men couldn't do nothing. It was all about women. Women ran it. That's what Black Panther was about shorties. When you look at everything that's going on, there's a systematic attack on masculinity. And what they're trying to do is trying to say, no, it's not, and they're being passive aggressive, but it is. You know what and it comes from you telling your son, don't hurt, don't feel, don't express how you have these men that don't articulate. They do not know how to articulate how they feel. And what happens? They blow up. They end up incarcerated. They end up doing dumb things. They don't know how to work things through. To be a man is not simply to tell them, go be a man. They have to see this. They have to be in that atmosphere to understand how a man thinks. You just can't tell a dude, be a man. That's like me telling my daughter, go be a girl. What does that mean? I have to understand how women think. I have to understand how am I supposed to treat my husband, my wife, and my mother. These are things that they have to see work in real time. And they don't have that. They don't have it. So when you're looking at these women right now, they're looking at it in the aspect of, I don't need a man. I can do what a man can do until drama happens, until you and I are in that bedroom together and someone busts into the house. Now you want me to go downstairs and check it out. See, women have to make a decision. You can't want the authority of a man, the responsibility of a woman, and the accountability of a child. It doesn't work that way. You have to pick a position. And the way this world is set up, it makes the strong look weak. It makes the strong look weak. It's easier for you to run with the crowd than for you to stand up for what's right. Any of those that stand up for what's right, they're always demonized. They're always demonized when they stand up. When you stand up against the crowd, it's easy to go with the crowd. It's hard for you to say, chill. Y'all need to stop doing this. It's easier to just run with the crowd. We're demonized when we say this is wrong, right? And again, I think women and men have this conversation conflated. Men and women are created equal when it comes to the creation of God. We're equal. But when it comes to the purpose of God, we are not. Women and men are not equal at all, by far, in the purpose of God. God loves the eagle as much as he loves the mouse. They're both his children. He loves them. But he created the eagle to eat the mouse. It's nothing that the eagle did. The Lord just said the man is the head, period. So when we outsource, like Logic was saying, when you focus on just you and your woman, and your marriage is about you and your woman, you have a ceiling. There's a ceiling. The beauty of Christ is the selflessness that he had, the long suffering that he had, the mercy that he had, the grace that he has. This is why we focus on him. This is why he's in the relationship. Because if I'm talking to my brother Logic, if I don't have Christ in me, the first mistake he makes, I'm cutting him off. Because the natural prowess of man is to shut things off, to cut it off.
So Bolo, I got a question. I got a question right there. I got a question. So earlier we were talking about, I don't know if you heard it or not, but earlier we were talking about what if they have no God concept, no principles, and no morals? What is left for them to? Yeah.
You want to know what the world would be like if Satan ran it? Look, here it is. This is it. You want to know what it would be like for shorties to just be out of order? Look, here it is.
So
you
what
want
is
to be like men having no backbone? Look, this is it. See, when you get into Christ, Christ starts with you first. Before I go talk to logic, the Lord tells me get the beam up my eye first. I can't go to him telling his breath stinking, my breath smells like 10 dead deer. I can't do that. So the Lord,
the number gotta be 10.
So the Lord says, love your brother as you love thyself. So the love starts with you first. So he tells you work on yourself first before you go outside the world. The Lord says you can't get my house in order if yours isn't. It doesn't make no sense. You are a physical representation of me. You are my living testimony. When you go out there, people are going to look. And this is why I say all the time, when people claim to be Christians and all these different things, when you're disrespectful, when you speak a certain way, the first person that gets that black eye is Christ. It's not you. It's Christ. They're going to say, look at Bolo. He's supposed to be a Christian. And look at the way he's talking. Then they get me. They get him first. So you have to understand whom you're representing. So when you implement Christ into your life, you start to understand what your worth is. Because now Christ tells you you're worth something to me. I died for you. So you have a value to me. I bought you with my blood. So now once you know what your worth is, now you're going to demand your value in your standards. So if these chicks ain't moving the way I need them to move, I'm moving on to a chick that's going to move the way I need her to move. I'm not going to focus like you. And you and I have talked about this before. You have so many different panels where cats is taking 13 hours to talk about chicks that don't fit what they want, opposed to taking the 13 hours to talk about the chicks that do fit what they want.
So Bolo, I got another question. So because you mentioned without that connection, we have men with no backbones, women who are out of order. You know, the foulness that we see right now is what's going on. So Black Men has done several shows about how the deletion rate for men right now, for Black men especially, is like 70%. Am I right about that?
That is correct.
So Bolo,
well, let me add a little bit more to that, Bolo.
Okay, because I want
Black men right now and Black boys from the age of 12 to in that age group of 12 to 34 are committing more deletions than white men, white women, Black women, Hispanic women, and Hispanic men combined. Black men are just taking themselves out every day.
What's your question, SB?
So my question is, due to the fact that there is no connection, I can say that would be a large representation of that. But how do you speak to that for the men who they just don't understand, or either they're going after the wrong thing?
Well, the first thing is you have to deal with the man. Let me give you an example. When 9/11 happened over here in New York City, okay, the World Trade Center, I think it was 120 stories. Okay, the planes hit the 80th to 90th stories. These men and women had fire on their behinds. Now, the natural thing for someone to do is put a shirt over you and try to run through the fire to get down the steps. They couldn't do that. They chose to jump out. These are the decisions you have, burn or jump. That's a hell of a decision to make. Now, take out the World Trade Center. Just take that out, but have that same situation. These men and women, well, the men that are suffering, the men that are self-deleting, they don't want to take their life. They just want the pain to stop. And because as young as they are, not having fathers and mothers telling them that you're the man of the house at 6 months old, they haven't built a coping mechanism to understand how to deal with these things. Young little girls are taught to talk. You have a problem, talk about your problems. We always tell our daughters that. But our man child, we don't. Our man child, we tell them, you the man of the house. You don't hurt, you don't do this, you don't do that. Now they have no coping mechanisms. Remember, as children, they're learning these things, right? They're learning it. And as they grow older, it gets better. It gets better as you get older. You learn to reason. You learn to understand. We're not supposed to be emotional animals. But when you take the father out of the home, you don't understand what you're doing to the nucleus of the home. The father is the nucleus, not the mother. The father is. We in this world, we flip it and we say the mom is, but it's the father. Half these women that are in strip clubs, why are they there? Because they have no father. Because the father isn't there. Now, emotionally, stability, we understand that women, that's what they do. We all have a position to play. When you destroy a nation, you don't destroy it through the mother. You destroy it through the father. That's how you destroy a nation, not through the mother, through the father. So when you take the fathers out of the home, what do you get? Pandemonium. You get spoiled children acting all out. No respect. They have nothing. They just can't deal with it. So you have these young men that have not given any coping skills, and now you're asking them to go out there and be a man. How do they do that? So they need therapy. You have to give them therapy. You have to have mentorship. Men like BMU, Logic, going back and saying, yo, brothers, come here, let me holler at y'all. And you talk to them and say, first off, there's nothing wrong with being broken, my G. Because remember, hurt people help hurt people, right? But God's going to use broken people to heal broken people. Because the only way I can understand Logic is if I've been through what he's been through or something similar. That's when we grow together. A lot of the times we're taught in our neighborhoods, if you make it, break out and leave and don't come back. Don't ever come back. And that's our issue.
So, Bolo, the next question to that then is, how does that tie into this divide that we're having of the nuclear family?
The divide that we have is when you don't have a father in the home, again, you don't have a father in the home, a lot of these men have female attributes, right? They're not articulate of their feelings. They're very short and they're very emotional. They're not logic at all.
Say they short like in height.
No, I did not say that.
You know, average height for men is decreasing.
Say it again.
The average height for men is actually decreasing.
I don't know. So what I'm going to say is, so these men take on the attributes of these women. When you look at these platforms, a lot of these men share the same attributes that these women have on their platforms. So you have men blaming women, women blaming men, and all that does is widen the gap. It widens the gap. It widens the gap. So, you know, we as men have to say, okay, dude, we're gonna stop blaming people. We're gonna start looking at ourselves. Let's start looking at what dysfunction we bring to the situation. Now, once we figure out our dysfunction amongst ourselves, now when we come to the shorties, so we work that out. We work that out. We don't have those issues no more. I understand that I brought a lot of dysfunction. I get it. You're going to continue blaming, or do you want to move past this? See, I'm not into circular conversations. I'm into solution-based conversations. We can identify the problem and then figure out solutions to the problem. So now, what I see, one of the reasons that us as men in general and women, we don't trust each other. There's no trust. And love, you know, truth given without love is a weapon, period. You know, if I don't know black man and I walk up to him on the street and say, your breath stink, he gonna take offense. I'm emasculating him. You know what I'm saying? But if I have a relationship with him and he knows that Bolo wants the best for me, there's no emasculation, he ain't trying to disrespect me or nothing like that. He wants the best for me. We go past 10 steps. We've done moved 10 steps forward. A lot of men don't talk to each other because they know the propensity of violence is very quick, especially when you're dealing with men that are illogical, that are emotional. You don't even want to go through it. You sit down, you hear them in a conversation, you be like, Duke, I'm good. I don't even want to talk to you. Why? Because it's like talking to my wife. Mm-hmm. It's tantamount to talking to my wife because you don't want to move past. all you want to talk about is the problem. You don't want to talk about the solution. So we're stuck right here, and I don't like being stuck. I want to continue moving. You know what it is with us as Black people? We mistake movement for progress. We think
I got a question for Bolo though, because
yes.
I want to caveat on what somebody said, and I'm gonna tell you this, security boss. This is the difference between you and everything else. See, I keep saying you're rooted in something, right? You got things that you gotta have your scriptures. You gotta research your scriptures in order to see and talk about your scriptures, right? You gotta have a relationship in order to talk about your relationship. Everything else we see that's going on, what qualifications do these people have to be on these paths? Put like this. Let's put up a YouTube resume, right? Let's say this. Here you go. This is my qualifications for what I'm going to talk to you about right now. If you look at their resume, you know what they got? I got a D or P. So that qualifies me to have these conversations. D and a P. That's why I call them D and P talk. It's nothing else. It's no, I can listen to somebody and say, if you tell me, even though me and you had back and forth on the scriptures and stuff like that, blase, and I never really disagree with you. My main thing was like, yes, security boss, I get you, but you're talking about Wakanda. This is how it should be. Right now, we're living in the same playing field. You got to be able to another thing Bolo said is you have to accept how things is, discuss them before you can get to a solution. And then you have to concede to the facts that it's actually happening. I understand that we're supposed to be married, we're supposed to do this, but we can't go to marriage if we don't discuss first the issue that they're not doing it. Why? The women is this, the men is this, blase, okay. But now we got to have different backgrounds to discuss it. You know what I'm saying? Before they start talking about passport bros, let me see your passport. Let me see your resume. I'm pulling all their resumes out. And I'm checking my list. I'm checking it twice. I'm going to find out who's not or not. Because all the things, that's all they got on their resume. Security boss is a dick and pee. Check. Let's talk about it.
Logic, you know what it is? Logic.
Oh, hold on.
You know what it is, Logic? And I had this conversation with back in the day. Remember King on the Lapeef show?
Oh, yeah.
And I had this conversation and I ended it on, it's not the students that's off. It's about the teacher. The teacher has to be able to reach the student. And that's the problem. The problem is exactly to what Logic said. These teachers come out with false resumes and they don't know how to reach it. So they just look at that child and they just throw them to the wayside when it really wasn't the child. It was you. You were a bad teacher. You didn't know how to reach it. This is why the Lord says, season your speech. Now, what does he mean by season your speech? The way I speak to security boss, the way I speak to Logic, and the way I speak to BMU is not going to be the same way. So I have to listen to these men and listen to this woman in the way they speak so I can take, it's the same answer that I want to give them, but I have to make sure that I can reach it. Like I might have to talk real niggerish to Logic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For him to understand, like, yo, dude, let me tell you, if you go on the street, you have a crackhead and an alcoholic. The scripture says two cannot walk if not be agreed. If there's not crack and alcohol at that party, they both can't walk to it. There has to be something that they agree on to walk to it. And we have to understand that. So what happens is and then the Lord says, you season your speech so you know how to respond, not react. Respond. So I have to hear what you're saying. And a lot of us don't actively listen because sometimes I have my answer for security boss, but security boss might say something that I have to switch my answer up and say, okay, because you said this, now I have to flip it. We just have our answer ready. So no matter what Logic says, I'm just going to give the answer. And it may not even have anything to do with what he just said. This is the point. Being able to reach these men and women. These cats, listen, when I go out there and I teach Muslims, I teach Buddhists, all that. I have to be able to go into their religion. 5%ers, God bodies. I have to go into their religion, break them down into whatever they saying, and then say, you done? Now let me show you my Christ. Let me show you my God. Because what you was talking about was idol worship. Let me show you him here. You have to be able to go into these dark places and not come out tainted. A lot of us get caught up with it. A lot of us, we clothe ourselves in ego.
Wait, hold on, wait. I told security boss not to go to Fight Club.
No, I told you I'm not going. But let me say this. Logic. You were supposed to tell me months ago not to go to Fight Club, so I wouldn't.
I did. Don't make me pull up the video. Wait, hold up.
Afterwards, you told me afterwards. That's something you should have told me before.
No, I told you during. When you was up there, I was like, no, you're so like, look, but like this. Some of these places is becoming Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And I'm not even a big scripture place, but it's full of people that want advantages by doing the same crazy thing. Like I said, their background is resume is empty. Look, this right. Resume, this theirs.
But Logic, I met you on Fight Club.
What?
I met you on Fight Club.
Because at a certain point, I thought it was and it's good, it's fun, right?
It was at a certain point because I met Black Men on Fight Club. We used to be the first ones on Fight Club, if you can recall, go all the way back to the beginning. We used to be the first, and it wasn't a fight. It was not called Fight Club. It was just, I don't know, we just hung out on Friday, Saturday, Sunday night.
It was actually they focused on the conversations based on the Lapeef Thursday show.
I don't remember what we called it, but me and Black Man laugh about that all the time. We used to just laugh because I remember that when you came up there the first time, you was like, "Oh, I ain't gonna bother you, lady." That's what you said to me. I ain't gonna bother you, lady. Oh, okay.
Because you out of like, look. You out of your element in there. You know what I'm saying? You out of your element. And you got to realize indeed now, not only is you out of your element, but they're coming up there. Their motive is not to have solution. Their motive is just to get on there, act crazy, start confusion. It's not, I mean, even though like I say, I actually sometimes I go back and I be like, you know what, I should have got that shit a long time ago. Yeah. Well, it saved me a lot of money though. I tell you that because I went on
Friday night.
Look, my bar tab, I had to save at least about $1,500 a month doing Fight Club. So, and I think that was Anton. He said that was his goal to doing it though. But ideally, I think it's bad. It's bad for people's health.
It can because they be getting. I mean, sometimes I don't know for sure, but it seems like they be getting real anxious, real aggressive, and it seemed like it be real. So I don't know, but I had to learn. I learned, and I'm good. I'm from afar. I just look. I'm in my lane. I'm doing my thing. But I want to go back to say something to you. I got a little pushback on something you said, and not a total pushback, but I do agree with you. I first have to acknowledge what is going on in the world. I don't have to accept it, and I won't. But I will acknowledge this that we're living in right now, and I will always counter it. And see, my counter is me being that example because it ain't got to be like that. It don't. But when we tell ourselves we have to accept it, then that's when our mindsets start changing and we start adjusting our lives and the way we move to what is going on in the world, because this is how everybody else sees it and this is what they're doing. But see, I prefer to be the standout. I prefer to say, well, no, I don't need to move like that. It's just like you said, even when I wasn't trying to do that, I was different in that space where we were at night, even though I was just, I was still who I am. And I was going to let everybody know who I am, despite what they do. So even if you as a wife are not putting your money in one pot, that's what the bosses are going to do over here. And yeah, I'm a security boss. Yeah, my husband named me that. He had no idea coming into these spaces that would be so controversial.
Ooh, I ain't even think about it like that.
No.
Mr. Boss, how you? Both of y'all can't be bosses now. Mr. Boss,
know.
come to the camera. Who in charge?
No, it's crazy because we came in like innocent, naive, innocent a little bit, but still genuine, real to it. So even I'm saying I'm security boss, people don't know me. They think I'm trying to be this boss chick. And I'm like, huh? No, this is for real. We own a real business. And it's like, we corn beans because we're being honest and sincere about what we're doing. But
I'm going to tell you why I never thought of it. Because I saw you on Thomas Sotomayor.
Right.
And I heard you explain the whole concept of the security boss, that it was a business. And so maybe I had an unfair advantage because I had seen that episode. So I had heard you talk about it. So I never really, because in that space, yes, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was a name, of a logo, it was a business, it was a brand. But in this space,
exactly.
A woman boss, like, you're a boss?
Yeah. Who you think you bossing? And then you black? What?
What's your middle name? Megan Thee Stallion?
I know. We was like, what? So it was a whole lot of, conforming, but not, no, I'm not going to conform because this is real for me, and you just don't know that everybody tell lies. I'm learning from Rick, and now everybody's a liar. Rick and William say everybody lie. We ain't talking to nobody. So it's just for us, it's like we've been here a year, but we're going to acknowledge what's going on. But what we have and what we do is real. And I would love to share that. Not saying that everybody's going to come out like that, but if you put forth this effort, you might get and have a better life than what you are living right now.
Yeah.
I think what Logic was saying is accepting and knowing that you can't save everybody.
Oh, definitely not. I can't.
That's what I think he was saying, that you just have to accept that some people are just happy where they are. A lot of people mistake flying for gliding. And they don't understand the difference. When you glide, you have to land. When you fly, you pick where you land. So it's a mindset. It's definitely a mindset that you have to be in. And it comes with it comes with self-inflection. You have to always check yourself. It's always like, yo, am I doing something wrong? Yo, black man, am I doing this wrong? The way I said this, was this off? It's always checking yourself first. Because now when you talk to that man or you talk to that woman, they already know that before you even came to them, you're done checked yourself 10 times. So it's definitely removing ego.
Wow.
Because when you look at ego, it's an acronym. It's exiting God out. God doesn't deal with ego. He doesn't deal with it because you're putting your agenda above his. When you walk in and say, this is about me. I did this. Remember, that's why Moses didn't get into the kingdom. Must I smite the stone? Must you? Nothing you do is of you, man. Everything that you do is of me. This is why Christ said, I don't have no glory. It's for my Father. And here's the beauty in Christ. Without Christ, I do nothing. In Christ, I do everything.
And it's something that relates to this security boss. And before I go, thank you for having me, Black Man, Mr. Boss. But like with this whole thing, with these whole talks or whatever, and I started realizing that we throw this word around, accountability, and it's impossible. You can't hold anybody accountable on these YouTube streets, because literally what you're doing is you're casting out a wide net all over the United States. It's not tribal. Cast a smaller net. You know what I'm saying? You get people with common interests, you get people within that area, then you can start making things happen. So, like for me, I had to go through and because I just like, I'm done with this YouTube stuff as far as all this here, the panels and crazy stuff, because the net that we attempt to be impactful is cast too wide. That they don't really give a crap about you. They'll say anything about you. They'll talk trash about you. They'll do whatever, because we casting these major big nets, and these big nets, even for the platforms that get views, not effective. You know what I'm saying? What about casting that net? You know what I'm saying? I think you in my net area that I'm gonna have too. I think you're in North Carolina, so you're gonna be in my net. But you know what I'm saying? Casting a smaller net that, you know what I'm saying, you can really do things that's impactful, and then get back to some of the things that I I think early on when black people was impactful, they cast smaller nets. They focus. They had focus areas. And they said, you know what? Let me try to fix this stuff in here. Let me try to fix this here. Let me try to fix this here. But it's hard to want to do that because of the internet. And then now the internet is also creating that design. That's why I made Derrick Jaxn get the big head and say, oh, I got chicks. I can do whatever I want to do. Is that we got to combat the internet, and we got to start. And me, I'm looking back at myself. I'm rebuilding my moral code. I think I lost a piece of me being on these panels. So I'm rebuilding my moral code. You know what I'm saying? I'm rebuilding. I'm sitting here and I'm coming back and I say, okay, now let me push forward and let me focus. And I think by that, I think that's what everybody got to kind of evaluate, because if we cast these major nets, NCL will come up and say, hey, I can cast that net too. And then what actions is required to catch these major nets? Eventually we'll become like politicians. We just talking. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yo, we need to do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And then our resume is blank. We have a blank resume because we can't sit there and say, hey, yes, look at this, and this, and this, and this. Because we said, and our excuse is, oh, well, I'm trying to impact the United States. Well, let's try to impact DC. And now let's start actually building our resume. So I just had to drop that on you.
But you know what? Let me say this to Mr. Logic. Thank you for being here, then, because we have missed you the last few weeks. But I think the self-reflection is how many?
3 weeks.
I knew it's been a few, but listen. But I would say that the internet is what took you to that self-reflection. So it hasn't always. It's not a bad thing.
No.
But let me tell you what's going to save us. What's saving us is that we don't have a popular message. So I don't think we even have to worry about the incels, because like we've been saying all this year, those things that are good are going to be seen upon as bad, and nobody's going to bother it. If you know what I mean by that. Me telling and being an example of what is good, it's not going to be received, but by those who want it.
But it's not received though, because imagine I'm speaking to somebody from afar. If we close that up, I get closer. We're still humans at the end of the day. The thing is, if I speak to you, it's more impactful to you.
Right.
But that's the point. The point is you're not trying. The point of the matter is we have to understand that we're not trying to save everybody. And the thing that I wanted to say to you three, and this is very important, that one, Black man and Logic, what you just said, Logic, is so paramount for you to say that, it took away from me. So I had to step away and reevaluate. Today we're looked at as being a beta. If you say to yourself, I gotta revamp myself, because this thing is it's cutting too deep into me and it's pulling me to the left. So I gotta go back and reevaluate what's going on and tilt myself back right. And there's nothing wrong. And I wanted to thank you for that. You dig what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times, you don't see men, come up here and speak in such terms of saying, Duke, I had to step back a little bit because it was taking a little bit of who I am, so I had to really step back and come back kind of lightly.
Yeah.
And I'll say this to everybody. When the pandemic hit, Lamborghini didn't change who they sold their cars to. Lamborghini sells their cars to a core people. They don't broaden their horizon to try and sell to everybody. They sell it to a core people that can afford their whips, period. Mm-hmm. And this is the message. The message has to be tailored the same way. This is not for everybody. When you try to include everybody, then you get that problem you just said. What we have to understand is see what Security Boss does, which is so beautiful, is she stays her course. She doesn't let nothing push her off what she's here to do. She doesn't try to change her message, to tailor it to what is fancy now. No, you're either going to take it the way I'm giving it or don't take it at all. You know what I'm saying? If 8 people get it, then that's beautiful. Then that 8 people is who I was meant to reach. And that's the thought process we have to look at, because you have a lot of people now tailoring their channel to what's new, to the flavor of the month. And when you look at what they talk about, you start to see that when you look at where they're going, you sit there and you say it's tantamount to this world is changing. The bad thing the internet made us do is we started reaching out to people that we knew we had no reason talking to.
Facts.
That they knew they couldn't even talk to. That's the problem. See, we had no internet. When we grew up, we talked to the chick around the block. We were in a 10-block radius. The internet, now we talking to chicks in Bangladesh and England and all this. And we know we shouldn't be talking to them, but we going to do it. And then
Bolo.
Yes,
we don't even go to the same grocery store. They go to food line. We don't go to the same grocery store.
So that's the problem. The problem is we lie to ourselves. We lie to ourselves. That's why the one thing I always say is lie to everybody else. Lie to security boss, lie to Logic, lie to BMU, lie to Bolo. The one person you don't lie to is you. Don't lie to you, dog. Don't try to front and be something that you're not. Be the best you can be, because there's only one you. Don't try to be a BMU. There's already one here.
But see, Bolo, that's the problem with the internet. Because see, this is what happens. And Derrick Jaxn lie to Instagram, but he can't lie to the people that live around him.
Absolutely.
The problem with this YouTube thing is I always wanted this, right? Because like I was on, like I was doing the Lapeef, and I was like, why am I bringing all the people I know? Like, where's everybody? I mean, like I have my quiz, I'm breaking like, I'm like, where's the people in real life? And where's the real life part of this? You know what I'm saying? And then you start seeing I'm not throwing those shots at nobody. This is just me reflected. Like I'm saying, why is it absent from real life? Like I bring in my real life. If you went to the Atlanta show, you know what I'm saying, my little brother there, Quest is there, Bruiser there, you know what I'm saying? It's people within my real life. So, and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, where's the real life aspect of it? Because that's the true accountability. Well, the true accountability is having somebody that knows you in real life. Mm-hmm. So now you can come on YouTube, absent of real life, and you know what that does? You can be Spider-Man, Batman, Robin. Matter of fact, and it's a new one. You can even be Derrick Jaxn.
But here's the thing with that, though, Logic. Here's the thing with that. Here's the thing. You could be anybody you want to be, but at the end of the day, you're going to get judged as yourself. See, when you stand in front of God, you could have been Batman, Robin, you could have been whoever you want. The Lord going to judge Bolo. Even though on YouTube you were claiming to be all these different things, I'm going to look at you for who you are. So this is why we say you can continue fronting. At the end of the day, your check is going to have your name on it. No matter how you try to front and put anybody else. They got something that we do, right? It's called AAA. And it's not calling the car, but AAA, acknowledgement, acceptance, and application. Acknowledge that you are the reason why you're in the position that you're in, not because of nobody else. Now, understand to acknowledge that there's always ramifications to the decisions that you make. So you have to accept those ramifications. And in between acknowledgement and acceptance is the learning curve. Because now I understand why I'm here. I'm going to learn why I'm here. I'm going to be better. So now when I walk out of that situation, I'm better than I was when I walked in. So now I can apply it. So now I can come to Black Man and say, oh, don't do that, dog. Why? Because I tried it and it didn't work. But you can do it if you want. You can do it if you want.
I got one question, Security Boss. Do you remember YouTube before Google Hangouts?
No, because I'm not a social media person. I've never been one. So
no, well, it was at one time. It was harder. It was hard to do these different things. It was hard, like you had to truly invest. Like before YouTube, you had to invest. You had to have good internet. You had to get OBS. You had to get vMix. You had to get something. You had to actually invest. You had to get a mic. It was a different arena.
Right.
Like I said, now the ease of, that's why I said death for the duck. What happened is that now these different individuals with blank resumes.
Right.
Say that, oh, you telling me I download StreamYard, get a YouTube channel, hit go live. Oh, that's it. Oh, I can yell and scream on the panel. That's it. No resume required.
Right.
Because I in my mind, I say this: you got a felony, you owe back child support. You should not get a YouTube channel. But what the fuck we should listen to? I'm sorry.
You felt it. I felt the emotion. Wow.
No, but if you fit these categories, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I think it should be that way. I'm not saying that taking somebody's voice, but if you know what I'm saying, if you're a convicted felon, you know what I'm saying, you got all these different problems. What they end up doing is they bring these problems to where?
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't think they should have 300 or 400 people sitting up there listening to them too. But who am I? I mean, I'm who I am, but I'm just saying I don't know how to. I agree with you totally, but
you know what you can do? I'm telling you, can do. I'm gonna whisper this to you. You ready, security boss? Do what they cannot do. You do what they can't do. Just do what they can't do.
I got you. Look, me and Mr. Boss attempt to do that every day, or every time we come here, we attempt to do that. So
I saw your Instagram post with your background. You can do what they can't do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We look, you blessed us one time and you don't even know it. And then Black man, I want you to say something because I know you got something, but you blessed us one time, Logic. You said y'all always seem like y'all got another gear. Y'all always pressing forward. That is true.
Yes. You got to. Ooh, I wish I could get you a sneak peek what I'm looking at right now.
Well, I wish I could give you a sneak peek, but anyway.
Hey, let's sneak peek together.
Okay. I heard you, but I ain't gonna say nothing. Go ahead, Black man. Go ahead. It's your turn.
No. I just want to say good conversation, but I will say, security boss, we need to just stop comparing you or trying to compare you to other people. You're just a different breed. When it comes to the whole Christianity thing, when it comes to relationships, marriage, people look at you as far as, hey, listen, this woman women hate you. I'm just gonna start there. They don't like you. I've heard women say it.
Oh, wait, read that guy comment. Done ill. I agree with him. You need to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
You need to open it back up to you. Show us how to do the jailhouse workout. Show us how to make the ramen noodle pound cake. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I think it said ramen noodle pound cake. Oh my God.
Listen to this. If I go the direction that that Logic is suggesting, it'll be bad. It'll be bad. It'll be worse. It will be more hate. But I don't really care about that because I don't have any of that for myself.
I think you in because my little brother is in Charlotte. I will have a plethora of people that go up to it. You know what I'm saying? I will have you can just call me Mr. Plug because you know I stayed in.
Mr. Plug, I know. Look, yeah. I called you out, Mr. Plug. You wasn't in place though.
What's that?
I called you out a few months ago, but you wasn't in place.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, like it's really like
you wasn't in place. I ain't gonna say no more right now.
All right, but yeah. But no, well, like I said, this is like I'm telling you, your focus. I ain't gonna say too much, but look, it's easy for you. I can plug you up, but
yeah,
that's the next step because right now what's gonna happen is it's an insurgence of the typical thing, right? And now we're downplaying ourselves by actually playing in the projects. Time for us to move up to the big leagues.
I agree.
Time for us to move to the big league.
I agree. We're in order.
I already know. Look, I be looking. See, I saw that Instagram post. All right, she got a damn whole teleprompter up there.
Look, guess what? The husband, you probably already know. He Toy City. He got it all. You look, he can't wait. He can't wait. He can't wait.
You know, and I think for you, that will really be next level. Cause see, I was doing something like I was messing with I check your angles, I check your cameras. I can tell you what kind of cameras you got by looking at the angles.
How many we got though? You can tell me what kind. How many we got?
You got 3 angles.
All right.
Yeah, you got the front angle. It is perfect. You got the left, and you got the right. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now all you got to do is spread it out. Put a couch on there. You know what I'm saying? Security boss talk live.
I tell you my secrets, logics. Don't be spreading my business. Black man, I'm getting back to you, black man. So listen, what can I do about that, black man? There's nothing I can do about it.
Ain't nothing you could do about it, but keep, like Logic said, just keep pressing forward, because the more hate you get, the more attention you get. And the people don't realize that the hate they give gives you what you need to keep moving forward.
Well, I can say this right here. We're going to continue to give you the good news.
Yeah.
I'm talking to black men right now. So, whatever it is, however it goes, we're going to continue to give black men the good news. So,
hold up, somebody hating on you? Damn, I've been gone that long?
I think this has been going on for some time, though. I don't think it's anything.
Logic, I mean, big hate too, boy. Big hate.
Yeah. But guess what, though? You playing in a playground. Time to elevate. If you elevate, then guess what? Oh, you talking trash to me on a stream yard? Huh?
Oh, no. I don't get any of it. I don't get it. Well, listen, it's like T-Shaw just said. T-Shaw said, I don't think women hate SB. They just don't agree with her, because if they don't have Christian values, how can they? It comes with Christianity.
But see, it don't matter if you got Christian values. Is that the thing about it? Is even with me, I don't share the same Christian values she got. But the thing is that I should have the same moral codes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We get our moral code. You know what I'm saying? I think some of it come naturally, but you know what I'm saying? Our baseline for our moral codes come from the Bible.
And not only that, Logic, you have never gotten anything different off of we treated you even indifferent, whatever you did or wherever you were.
No.
Black man either, and definitely not Bolo. So I have different working relationships with all 3 of you all. And if black man was off, I say, black man, you was off, buddy. But guess what? Keep elevating, buddy. This is what we're going to do.
Now, but Mr. Boss did tell me if I don't go to church, I can't come on his panel no more.
No, he ain't said that. I know he ain't said that. We don't even go to church. So I know he ain't said that. Big untruth. So you still, even as a follower of Christ, you still have to have relationships, because that's what it's all about. Everybody can't be in the same place at the same time. So for the women, black men, we just got to keep doing what we do. And if they're married, if I can help them within it, good. If I can't, then hey, I got to keep moving,
I say this, keep going too, because the way the world is going, it's two options for people. Well, it's 3. They will either go back to God, they will start developing tribes, or they will just continue the chaos. The chaos is so much chaos is going on right now on every different level of life. So now it's like it is. It's going to force people to go either together or to God. So you'll keep doing it, because you're going to start seeing right now, looking at what's going on across the world, it's forcing people to develop these moral codes, especially the older generation, our generation.
Absolutely.
So,
Bolo says it all the time. When you're trying to speak with someone, you sow a seed. And if somebody else comes by and water it. But what I always say, when I'm out here talking to people and I'm doing this, they're not going to change me. I'm not going to be the one. So I don't have to, I'm not going to stay in the place long enough for it to influence me that way. I'm going to stay just long enough where they realize who I am. And then I'm getting out of there. I'm not going to be around.
Hey, thanks for having me, Security Boss, Black Man Unfiltered Bolo.
But this is what we need to understand too. I want to tell everybody this too. This internet thing ain't gonna last. Understand that. If you read the scriptures, this internet thing ain't gonna last. So the relationships that you form, right? You know, it's a beautiful thing that, you know, we're able to reach people in North Carolina, Texas, you know, Georgia, or wherever you at. When this thing breaks down and the Holy Spirit lands on you, it's going to tell you where to go. Because we're not going to do this by ourselves. Bolo ain't going to do it by themselves. BMU ain't, and neither is SB. The Lord's going to talk to those that He has that spirit implanted on where to go and where to meet. Because if you read your book, it's going to get real hectic real quick. Look out your window. See, America is compartmentalized. You go outside of America, you see how thuggish it is in these different countries. You come here, and they put you in that cocoon of deniability where you just don't see what's going on around the world. But this world is ready to pop, and the scriptures tell you what? You know that I'm nearer than ye think when the world travaileth like a woman giving birth. And it is. So
but we got to end on that one now. You can't take us no further.
Okay.
Look, we just gave birth. No, we're about to give birth. I don't even want to hear what's on the other side of that, because guess what? I'm over half of my life. It's about time. You look, I'm just living good from here on out and doing what I'm supposed to do. But listen, let me read this comment, and then I'm gonna let y'all say closing words, because we need some encouragement. Bloomin' Ebony says, I think when some women listen to SB, they feel judged. They don't see it an opportunity for growth. Ebony, you probably right. And how are you doing tonight? There's nothing I can do about that. I don't. Most of these people, besides you all that come over to SB Nation, y'all already know I don't know these people. So I'm talking for women, because I want women to win. I want women to be covered, because it's just as a time when Bolo is talking about now, it's becoming very essential that we're going to need some covering. Now, I don't know what book they're reading, if they're reading anything, but for me, it's very obvious. We're here in what we call a free country. Talk to those girls that's getting ready to go over to Mexico and be judged and have to live a night or two in that prison over there, and just see how they speak. So I don't know, but I'm continuing to do what I'm doing. I'm continuing to be the example. I want all y'all to always be here. SB Nation welcomes you all. And tell somebody about it. Share the channel. TikTokers, we love you guys. Instagram, if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. For you all who are just meeting Bolo for the first time, Bolo TV is at the Village. I need y'all to subscribe to his channel too. He's the one that sets this all in motion.
Thank you.
His information is in the chat, and also Logic. Y'all listen, it's gonna be some good things to come. So y'all plan for that. But Bolo and or Black Man, either one of y'all, take us out of here. Which one of y'all, both of y'all, whatever you have to say to end this live, because it's been like a amazing conversation, in my opinion.
Go ahead, Bolo, you got it.
Okay. This is what I'll read. I'll just read this, and then you know, I'll let you guys take it from here. This is Revelations chapter 1. I'll read 3 verses, and it says, after these things I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor the tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God. That's what this world is headed for destruction. And soon as the servants are sealed, that's what's going to happen. So please, guys, accept Christ your Lord and Savior, please.
Thank you so much for that, Bolo. That is good. But I gotta mention this before we go. Black Man, they're calling for you to give your life to Christ. Someone feels as though you've
yeah, that's my boy, Illuminated Revelation. So I will go ahead and say, Lord, that I surrender all. I surrender the fact that I come on here and tell the truth. I surrender the fact that Bolo comes on here and I mock his voice. Lord, I surrender all. Ladies and gentlemen, put your damn hands together for Security Boss. This is a great channel, great network, and Security Boss, I'm telling you right now, you should be okay with haters. because haters are the very steps you need to walk on to get to where you're going.
Okay, I like that.
Polo, I'm gonna take
They can only make me better, right? They can only make me better.
Yeah, absolutely. He prepared the table before you in the presence of your enemies. That means he's going to prepare the table, let you eat, and make them watch you eat. Oh, it's amazing. Come on.
All right, y'all. So listen.
All right, Bolo.
Man, SB, thank you for having me, Mr. Boss. Love you all, man. God bless you. Good night.
Bolo, definitely come back. I've been missing you, buddy. But
I've been missing you too.
Listen, y'all. I'm gonna be on Krew season on Wednesday, 10 o'clock. 10:30? 10 o'clock. But I'll probably do a pre-show. So we'll all get together and go over there and make sure we have an outstanding show. Y'all have been excellent tonight. I enjoyed the questions. We're looking for solutions. We turn this thing around. We understand that everybody won't make it. But those who can, we're gonna offer and continue to be examples. And Black men, I appreciate you so much. Continue doing what you do. Continue to elevate. Continue on with that TikTok live. And it all will make sense very soon. Promise you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Boss. Dearly beloved. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Everyone.
No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road, I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul.